What's up, guys? It's the real main event, the Rogue Soldier, the essential John L. Crossfire.
And I'm Mrs Crossfire.
And once again, you guys are tuned into Caught
in Conversation. Shakalaka-laka.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 99 of Caught in Conversation. Just one more to go. Not ever, but just one more to go until episode 100. I am here with my lovely, beautiful, amazing, sensational co-host, Miss Nova Lee, and we have the entire soundboard set up today just because we've got another interview tomorrow and potentially another one after that, so we're just going to have it all set up. But it's weird because usually when we do these Mark-A-Paloozas, I'm looking at you and I'm kind of just looking at you out of my left eye, which is still currently my bad eye, so it's just a blurry blob. So if I turn my head completely, it's going to be too echoey, so we're going to just kind of have to do this episode almost Mexican standoff style. But how are you doing today, my love? Like, usually we say, oh, it's kind of silly to say that, but we actually, like, we've spent the entire day together, but we actually haven't talked that much because we did groceries, we went out for lunch as we record this, and then you just watched your baseball. Unfortunately, the Giants lost to the Dodgers 5-4, but how you doing besides that? You keen? You ready to jump on?
Ready to jump on.
I say every time we need to stop waffling on because it's going to be a long episode and we're already waffling on, but I believe...
I've said shit all.
I believe, Miss Nova Lee, Mrs Crossfire, that you picked the song of the week for this episode. Would you like to enlighten us on what song you have picked?
I'm trying to remember which one I ended up going with. There was two that I was
This is
tossing
why I
up
actually
behind.
sent you the notes for the Mark-A-Palooza this time.
I should have checked. I didn't pre-check.
Well, I'm just going to leave all of this in because it's the CIC pod now and it's unfiltered, it's unedited.
Yes. Okay, I've got it now. Okay.
Now you can answer.
Yes. Jeez. A Whole New World by Peyton Parrish and Kayla King.
Of course. A cover
Disney
from
themed.
Aladdin, my all-time favorite movie, so I appreciate it's near and dear to my heart that you picked that one of all songs, of course. Ooh. Yeah, of course. I've got the Monster Energy Super Dry, which is full sugar, but of course, shout out, rest in peace, Kylie. It was his favorite Monster Energy flavor, so I'm a little bit partial to this one. And Mrs. Crossfire, I believe you just cracked that's a full sugar mango loco, so this episode's definitely gonna go loco, but there's also a mad cover by a band called Stellar Cart, which would make an awesome wrestling theme song if someone out there wants to do it. But speaking of songs and matches of the week, we had to go through and make sure that we didn't double up because we've had one song which we double upped on, but it's two different versions. They were two different covers. I went through the list, and originally I was going to pick a match, and it was Hardy versus Hardy from WrestleMania 25, and I said, we can't do that because we used it for the Heels episode for obvious reasons. So I've gone through, and I've picked Bret Hart versus Owen Hart at WrestleMania 10. It's still brother versus brother, and obviously we've got wrestlers versus Disney, so it's still this big fantasy matchup, and obviously WrestleMania is right around the corner. We're going to do our predictions for this weekend's WrestleMania at the end of this episode. Of course, this episode is actually going to drop a day early. It's going to drop at 12 p.m., and of course, because of daylight savings starting over in the US, SmackDown actually starts at 11 a.m. for us, so SmackDown's going to be an hour in by the time our episode drops, but I wanted to drop it as per usual, so that way, if people do listen to it either on time or even after the fact, we can't say that, our opinions were skewed because we've put it out there well before the events kicked off. But yeah, the match is Bret Hart versus Owen Hart, and we had a little bit of a boo-boo, and Mrs. Crossfire said it's fine, but I'm kind of a little pissed off at myself because as I was going through this list, I've realized that I've actually doubled up on two matches, which is the whole point of having the list of the songs and the matches. Episode 93 we did 6 episodes ago as we recorded this with Muzdog. We had Rock and Austin at WrestleMania 19. I just discovered, just before we recorded, that episode 73, so literally 20 episodes before that Muzdog episode, I used the exact same match with my conversation with Ref Steve. Now, my blind ass, as I was scrolling through it for that Muzdog episode, I thought the other one said WrestleMania 17, which is the match we were actually talking about with Muzdog, which is why I flipped it to 19, and obviously I prefer it, but from what I can see looking through the list, I haven't even used WrestleMania 17, well, that specific match from WrestleMania 17, so I'm kind of a little bit annoyed here, but it is what it is. Shit happens. I'm going to avoid doubling up as much as I can, though, which is the whole point, but Song of the Week, Whole New World by Peyton Parrish and Kayla King, two absolute powerhouses, but they actually went a little bit softer and showed some range in this one. And, of course, Match of the Week, Brother versus Brother, Owen Hart, Bret Hart, WrestleMania 10, 1994, the year I was born. Obviously, I was born after the fact, but that's a hidden gem. And, of course, we got Uso versus Uso coming up this weekend. Only the third time a legitimate, real-life brother versus brother match, all 15 years apart, by the way. So I keep saying, T-Dog, WrestleMania 55, I'm going to be in my 40s. I'm coming for you, brother. Mrs Crossfire looks like she's trying to say something here in the background.
Yeah, I was going to say, but we got too far ahead. I should have just butt in.
With my head turned.
I should have just butt in, but...
need the shot collar. Wormy said I need the shot collar.
Wormy said we needed the shot collar.
Actually doing their radio show tomorrow as we record this, so by the time this comes out, we've already done it. But what do you want to say?
Okay, so I was just going to say, back to the song of the week. The other song, this is why I was tossing up, because I was like, shit, which one did I end up choosing, and told you to write into your notes?
Yeah, because you were kind of flip-flopping, because they're all so good.
There was like, Kiss the Girl, but Stella Cart did a cover, and that's why when you mentioned Stella Cart, I was like, yes, that was the other song I was looking at.
There is a Jonathan Young who we've listened to a lot, and I think he's actually been on the Song of the Week before for some of his covers. He does a Kiss the Girl one, and it's just... There's so many good covers, especially Disney, but like, pop goes punk and like Disney goes punk and shit like that. Like, there's so much good stuff, but we don't want to sit here and just talk for hours and hours just about the songs and the matches. But yeah, I'm a little pissed off that I doubled up on one of the episodes. It is what it is. We move on. But we have a big announcement as we listen to this episode. Obviously, if you're listening to the show before... I don't even know. Do I?
Drum roll.
I don't think I actually have a drum roll on my soundboard.
No, that's why I had to do it for you.
But obviously we have Podbean, Spotify, Google Pod. We have people listening to them on all three platforms, and I'm sure there's other podcast platforms out there that I'm not aware of that have the same stuff because it's distributed by all the mentioned ones. But as of today, as we record this episode, literally this morning, I've put all the links in. It took about 2 or 3 hours of manually copy, paste, post. But we are now officially on Apple Podcasts here at CIC Pod, just in time for episode 100 next week. Because, of course, episode 101, I'll be interviewing Derek, and I showed a preview of the new graphics. But obviously, episode 100, hopefully still with DPC, will be that same graphic style. And it has Apple Pod on the bottom. So I was like, fuck, like, they're going to make a liar out of me. Again, I'm overthinking things, but... We're on Apple Pods, ladies and gentlemen. I know Big Kai, he actually made a Podbean account just because he has an Apple. So, hey, if you want to switch over and use your iTunes and use your Apple Pod, it's still free of charge. Absolutely free 99. It's there. It's a lot easier. Hopefully, Apple Pod, the customer service was surprisingly helpful. So, hopefully they can help push them out. I've been tagging them in the post, so hopefully someone will just share something here or there. But if you type in Caught in Conversation, it's smack bang right there. But yeah, we're on Apple Pod, and I'm pretty excited about that. But did you want to read the rules for this, or do you want me to read the rules? How are we gonna?
I can do it if you want. Is that gonna be easier for you?
I'm having a good idea, so if you want me to read it, I'll read it. Because Lord knows I talk too much, hence probably needing a shot collar. But
I might get you to even read it because I was just like, I'm gonna probably stumble on my words.
Okay, so. Mark-A-Palooza 7, let it brawl, let it brawl. Another one I did think about, and it's funny you picked that song, was, I said to you after the fact, a whole new brawl. But hey, if we do Mark-A-Palooza Wrestlers versus Disney, that's probably going to be Wrestlers versus Disney too. It'll be a whole new brawl or something to that effect. I might even think of something else before then. But the theme is Wrestlers versus Disney. Nova. I have written Nova on this sheet. Even though when I wrote down who made the matches, I put a T and a J. But in future, I put an N and a J. Because I actually, with your mystery match, I wrote Nova mystery match. But Nova and John will take turns naming a wrestler/Disney character. Nova, as always, will start it off with, because ladies first, with either a wrestler or a Disney character. John will pair him an opponent, and then John will pick for Nova, and so on. Now, we got like 4 matches in before I realized, oh shit, that I was just going boom, 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 you were picking, and then like vice versa, I was picking, but obviously from wrestler Disney. And then I was like, okay, but we still technically did 4 each of starting off with bang, 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 bang. But yeah, this continues until we have 8 matches, and there will be 10 mystery matches. There will be 2 mystery matches made live on air taking the final total to 10 matches. There's no pre-shoot. It's just a straight shoot. 10-match supercard. It's an AEW pay-per-view, a New Japan pay-per-view where the wrestling's great, but man, if you just took out a match or two, it wouldn't go so fucking long. Much like these episodes when you and I jump on. But we love to talk. We're husband and wife. We've got great chemistry. This is what it is. But similar to prior Mark-A-Paloozas, we'll book the matches in our own respective order. I did that last night as we record this. You did as well. And then we'll discuss it on air to lock in a final booking order. And of course, if we have matches that are on the same number, locks it in by default. But yeah, we're going to book it like a real card. And then after it's booked in, we'll talk about potential stipulations and yada, yada, yada. But of course, I did throw a caveat, as I do with these ones, when we do have the mystery matches. The mystery matches do not get announced until the match cards are in place. So it's just going to be John mystery match, Nova mystery match. And so if I have someone that you've used or if you have someone that I've used, then we're going to have to scramble at the last second to... Card subject to change,
That's
brother. We're
fine.
going to have to
I've got
throw
like
someone
three
in there.
in my mind.
But yeah, of course, as always, if a universe has already been used, they can't be used again, with the exception of, for example,
The mystery.
so for example, we have we have Beast versus Bam Bam on this card, and we'll go for the full card in a minute. But if that would rule out Bell or anyone like that for the regular matches. But if you wanted to say, hey, Bell versus such and such, or Lumiere or whatever versus such and such, that still counts because it's the mystery match, and you got full creative control regardless of, you're just not allowed to use the exact same character or wrestler. Hopefully that makes sense.
Yes.
But the matches were posted online for fan voting. We can't share our own till we're on air. But again, I've shown you you've got the notes, you have the tally in front of you for when we do get there. Some of these are landslides, like some of the
I haven't
worst
actually even looked at the
landslides, but
notes yet, as you know.
You've got
The only thing I've seen is the song of the week because I was like, shit, I can't remember which one I picked.
But yeah, we had again, once, as always, some voted on some didn't vote on the others, but we had probably the most votes ever, and we had family and friends do it that don't even follow wrestling because we just shared it, and so did you. Like, your mum and your sister, they both voted just because it was like Disney. They went through, your sister voted for every single Disney character because she wasn't familiar with the wrestlers, and hey, fair enough.
She's still going to vote.
Like, if you go to a wrestling show and there's like a rookie versus a veteran, 9 out of 10 times you're probably just going to cheer for the veteran just because you know who they are over the rookie. But that's neither here nor there. We don't need to rant too much. But yeah, as we said, it can't be used, yada, yada, yada. But as always, the most important rule, have fun. Have fun now.
And don't be a dickhead. What?
Yeah. So
Call back to ECW.
Yes. Get your tickets now at Electric Boogaloo. Tickets in the link. We'll do the full plugs, obviously, in the back part of this. But we'll go through. Now, would you like to read the matches, or do you want me to read the matches?
I can read the matches if you want.
Just don't read out the numbers, because they're the votes.
Okay.
So, I put T instead of N. My bad. But yeah.
Alrighty. So the first one is Lightning McQueen versus Hulk Hogan / Hulkamania Monster Truck.
And of course, for the record, Mrs. Crossfire actually.
I picked Lightning McQueen.
That was the first. That was the first name you threw out, and I couldn't even compose myself. It took us probably. Usually we do these rapid fire, legit 5 minutes. It took us about half an hour to do this because I just fucking lost it. And everyone, granted, it's fair enough, but everyone we know, family and friends, obviously Cars is one of my all-time favorite movies. It's top 5 for me. It's one of my comfort movies. Quote it word for word. That's no shit. Mrs. Crossfire's heard and seen it probably more times she'd like in the 5 years we've been together.
She likes me for my body.
We actually just celebrated 5 years a week ago as we record this, by the way, so... Hey! Happy belated anniversary, and obviously we had the early anniversary dinner in Sydney. It was on the vlog and yada, 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 but all the family and friends were like, really? Of course you'd sneak in Lightning. And I was just like, look, you motherfuckers, actually wasn't me.
Not me, fam.
But,
me.
Yeah, you continue.
Okay, and our next one is Bam Bam Bigelow versus Beast.
So, Miss Nova picked Bam Bam Bigelow.
Bam Bam.
I paired him with Beast, and we have given these like nicknames as well, and once we've gone through them again, we'll say them, but match number 3, Mrs. Crossfire.
And then we have Ariel, which was my pick, and John's pick, which was Mercedes Monet.
Yes, match number 4, Mrs. Crossfire.
Match number 4, my pick, Luna Vachon versus Mother Gothel from Tangled. That was John's pick.
Yep.
Then we had Baymax, which was my pick, versus Rikishi, which was John's pick. Then we had the Rockers, which was my pick. And then John's pick was Winnie the Pooh and Piglet. And then we had Bianca and Montez, which was my pick. And John's was Mickey and Minnie Mouse. And then we had Chuckles the Clown, which was actually my pick.
I literally had to Google who that was because, like, you said the moment you said Toy Story, I was
Toy
like,
Story, yeah.
Boom, the picture popped. But when you said the name, I literally was like, who the fuck is Chuckles the Clown? Because I didn't even realize, like, from memory that, because I think he's from number 3, yeah, like at the daycare.
Yes.
From memory, I didn't even remember him having a name, and I literally had to Google, like, who the fuck is Chuckles the Clown?
And I was like, it was just a random one because at the time you picked Sin.
Yeah, this was one of the ones where I said, hey, Sin, and da-da-da-da.
And then I was like, shit, I need someone that's from Disney that's a clown. And like, there's probably a really obvious one, and I just went obscure and was like, fuck it, Chuckles.
But the way that I've written it on the notes was your pick, my pick, your pick, my pick, just to kind of keep it in coercion. But then obviously with all the graphics, I went wrestlers on one side, Disney on the other.
So that was our 8 matches, and then we have our 2 mystery matches that we're going to announce.
We'll announce once the card is locked in.
So
someone could end up at like the opener or match number 2 or some sort of like 4 or 5 piss break, and someone's going to be like, why would the wrestler be there? Well, because we fucking booked it, that's why. Book your own card.
Yeah.
But basically, yeah, we had McQueen versus Hogan. I tried to give these all labels. I went brother versus Ka-Chow. Bam Bam versus Beast. Obviously, Beast versus Beast because he's the Beast from the East. Mm-hmm. CEO versus Princess in terms of Ariel and Mercedes. Luna versus Gothel was Angel Baby versus Mother. Baymax and Rikishi was a bit of a stretch, but I didn't know where to go, so it was Dancer versus Marshmallow. The Rockers and Winnie the Pooh versus the Rockers versus Winnie the Pooh and Piglet. We did Jocks versus Nerds, especially off the back of we just finished watching the Marty Jannetty episode for season 4, and we're going to be doing our full Dark Side of the Ring season 4 episode in the next couple of weeks. But at this point, we've just labelled it as Jocks versus Nerds, and then Bianca and Montez versus Mickey and Minnie, even though apparently Mickey and Minnie have gotten a divorce or something, and it's actually canon, and no, you're ruining my child. People reckon all these horror remakes are ruining people's childhoods. Fuck that. Minnie and Mickey getting a divorce, I thought that was solid.
What the heck?
Hashtag not my Disney. But I obviously just labelled couple versus couple. And then, yeah, we've got clown versus clown with Sin Bodhi versus Chuckles. And then Nova mystery match, John mystery match. Let's not piss part fuck around. What is your first match that you had locked in?
Alrighty.
You're going to hear lots of papers ruffling because we're professional.
Okay. And we're old school. So I went Sin Bodhi versus Chuckles.
Interesting. So I had Bam Bam Bigelow versus Beast. What was your second match?
So my second match was Luna Vachon versus Gothel.
My second match was Sin versus Chuckles. So match number 3 for you.
Bam Bam versus Beast.
So my third match was Luna versus Gothel. So despite the fact that they're all in different order,
this is nuts.
we've mentioned the same but again, I think as we go along here as well, we're kind of learning each other's booking styles as well.
And I think we do book very similar though.
So match number 4, what did you have?
Number 4 was Tez and Bianca versus Minnie and Mickey.
Ooh, see, I was close. I had the Rockers versus Pooh and Piglet, so I still had a tag match. Match number 5, what did you have?
So, number 5 would be Mercedes versus Ariel.
So, number 5, I have gone my mystery match.
Oh, well, I didn't know we were doing that. So, I can show you. I'll cover the others. Mine was actually the first mystery match too. So, I just went to the next one because I thought that's
it's up to you. We can lock in number 5 as my mystery match if you want.
I just said mystery 1, so we can do that if you want.
Which means
at 5 because that's what I had it as. It's here that I've got it.
Which means
but I went to the next one because I didn't know we were doing that yet. So, yep.
So cool. That means I have no risk of you stealing who I wanted to use. And I'm fucking kind of annoyed that this match didn't actually get made properly because I wanted to do the graphics. But sweet, I've written the actual match on my paper. I'm obviously not going to reveal it. The match after that is where I had Mercedes versus Ariel.
Okay, that's 6.
So if you've put that in,
we have that on the same
6. So what's match 7 for you, my love?
Match 7 is Rikishi versus Baymax.
Match number 7 is Rikishi versus Baymax.
What the fuck? We have not looked at each other's. I can tell you that. This is weird.
We legit hid each other's pieces of paper just to be sure.
Okay, and then my number 8 was the second mystery match. So my mystery match.
Okay, so match number 8 for me was Hogan versus McQueen, and then at number 9 I had your mystery match. Okay. So what was number 9 for you?
Number 9 was the Rockers versus Winnie the Pooh Piglet for me.
So if my math is correct, that means you've got Hogan versus McQueen as your main.
Yes, correct. Yep.
My main was Bianca and Montez versus Mickey and Vinny.
Yeah,
so
well, that's a big thing.
How do we go about this right now? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, and 10. But I think is that the most we've had in one episode where we've just gone bang,
I think so. That we've been very close.
And back to back like that as well.
That was whack. Like,
yes.
Did you want some of my reasoning to where some of mine are?
So what was your opener again?
So it was Sin Bodhi versus Chuckles.
Give me your reasoning for this, and I'll give you my reasoning for mine.
Okay.
And then, as always, we can flip. You being the co-host, ladies first, can call heads or tails, but give me your...
Part of me was tossing up between Bam Bam and Beast being my first, because I was like, cool, big man versus big man. But for me, I just thought, fuck it, let's have a laugh for our first match. Because I was thinking, let's make this a comedy match. Because I was just like, because you got 2 clowns, and I'm just like, they're going to just pull out random shit and use, like... different clown kind of weapons and shit. Like, I hadn't actually picked a stipulation as such yet.
I mean,
was just more that it was
in my mind, I've booked this as like a Circus of Doom deathmatch. So it's either going to be very gory, very comedic, or a mixture of both.
Yeah. So see, for me, it's very like.
But with that in mind, I feel like that should be later in the card, because if you've had a few matches, they can sprinkle in the comedy to kind of bring it back up.
This is what I was kind of trying to toss between, because see, I was going between either start with a bang and go big man versus big man, but I was like, is that too slow to kind of open with? Should I have it a bit further? So the reason I went that, because I was like, yeah, bit of a laugh, bit of a bang to start off with, and then I went Luna and Gothel, because I was like, I wanted to spread up the female matches. Yep. So that's why I had them at 2. Then see Bam Bam and Beast. I was tossing up between 1 and 3 with them, because I was like Bam Bam, and then I was like that those first 2 kind of start to get the crowd going, but I was like, I don't want to put too much oomph at the start. So this is why I went Bam Bam and Beast, because I was thinking, here we go, like, have it where, because they're bigger guys, it slows down the crowd a little bit, and then you have Tez and Bianca, and Minnie and Mickey kind of boost it back up again.
See, I get that, but the thing is, I look at these matches, right? We've got 2, and it's funny we're talking about Beast. One of the neighbours' dogs is having a mini meltdown in the background. He's fine. He's just he's a little bit lonely at the moment.
He gets cold.
Yeah, I think he's because I think there was more there. I don't know if the dog's passed away or if they're just on excursion or what. But I think he's lost one of his friends. But I had, because we look at these matches, we got Beast versus Bam Bam, right? Bam Bam, and we just watched his again. It's season 4. We're gonna do the thing. Bam Bam wasn't your traditional big man. He was one of the very first agile big men to compete. True. So I'm like, and then if you look at the Disney movie. Beast, obviously, he's not doing like cartwheels and flips, but he's very deceptively fast and stuff in what you see in the original movie. So I was like, it's big boy versus big boy, but there is also a little bit of thing. And then even Rikishi, he's really agile for a big guy, so he's almost like the fastest between obviously Baymax is just the big lumbering slow guy. So we've got 2 big man versus big man matches, but both of them involve big guys that are a little bit more on the thing. And my mystery match, without giving away spoilers, I was going to brand as Animal versus Animal. I'll let your imagination run wild until that match is actually announced. But it's got what big, meaty men slapping meat. But again, a couple of them, one of them or both of them may be deceptively agile. So it's up to you. Do you want to How do you want to do this? Do you want to flip for this, or what are we doing?
I think I'll just agree with you, because I have been tossing up and turning, like when I was writing it last night, between that. And I think that's probably a better fit, how you booked it. So I'd probably go Bam Bam and Beast first.
So for me, and again, I had Sin and Chuckles at number 2, but now that you've brought up they could do this and this and this, I almost feel like I'd swap match 2, and I feel like match 2 I'd have as Luna versus Gothel. That's just my thought, but...
What was number 2, sorry?
So I originally, because you had Sin versus...
Chuckles
Bam Bam.
is 1.
Sin versus Chuckles is 1. To me, that was match 2. I had Luna and Gothel as number 3. But now that, like, you've brought up that, Sin and Chuckles could do this and Sin and Chuckles could do that, which I had a somewhat idea of, I'm kind of leaning towards switching my 3 to 2, which is Gothel versus Luna.
Yep.
And that was your number 2 already, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was my number 2 already.
Okay, well, do you want to just say number 2 is Luna versus Gothel?
Yep, let's go that.
This is probably the quickest we've booked a card on this in general. And then number 3. What did you say you had for number 3 again?
I had Bam Bam versus Beast,
okay.
So we'll go Sin and Chuckles.
Sin and Chuckles at number 3. Now this is where... Whoop, my writing is terrible. This is where it does get a little bit confusing because we're contradicting, controversial maybe, I don't know. We both had one of the 2 tag matches, but we had different matches. You had Bianca and Tez versus Mickey and Minnie. I had the Rockers versus Pooh and Piglet. So how do you want to go with that?
Well, I just wanted I'm kind of going a double main. That's why I went the way I did. So I want kind of a double main where you've got Shawn Michaels.
But this is going to get this is a very young Shawn Michaels.
And that's what I mean.
Though.
That's what I was tossing up about. I was like, where do I put him? But I just thought I kind of wanted him as a double main.
Because I'm still like...
But see, I think that's just me.
In my heart, I'm set on having Mickey and Minnie as the main, but obviously you had Hogan and McQueen, which...
Yeah.
Pop, brother. So how do you want to do this? Do you want to flip for this, or...
Now I'm kind of regretting where I've put the Rockers, so maybe I'm thinking even if we put Taz and Bianca and Mickey and Minnie as a part of the double main, because see, you have a good point with the Rockers where it's a young Shawn Michaels. I didn't look at it that way.
We've got 4 matches left. We've got the Rockers versus Pooh and Piglet. We've got Bianca and Taz versus Mickey and Minnie. We've got Hulk versus McQueen, and we have your mystery match.
Okay, so I'm thinking 4 go the Rockers, Winnie Piglet. Is that what you had originally?
Yep.
Yep. So we'll do that.
Match number 5 has now become my mystery match. Match number 6 is Mercedes versus Ariel. Match number 7, Rikishi versus Baymax. So we have Hogan versus McQueen, Nova's mystery match, and Bianca and Montez versus Mickey and Minnie. At number 8, I had Hogan versus McQueen. You had your mystery match. I'm happy to flip it if you like.
Which was, hang on, let me just write this down because you're a little bit ahead of me.
My apologies. I'm having trouble reading my own writing because we used permanent marker to write our names on.
I'm trying to write it down.
I'm using a blue pen rather than a black pen, so it's not bleeding through as much.
So
but
it's a bit hard.
This is still the quickest. And again, guys, if my voice is echoey throughout this, I can't help it because I got to turn my head so that I can see my wife because she's beautiful and all the other cheesy shit. But you know. That's good soup.
Okay, well, I think could we jump ahead to 9 and put I'm wanting to put Tez and Bianca there, and we do because you wanted it as a mate, but it's up to you.
Honestly, the way I'm looking at this now,
or would you prefer it to?
So
be
the way I've got this written right is Hogan versus McQueen, Nova's mystery match, and then couple versus couple. I am happy to put Nova's mystery match at number 8.
Okay, yep, that's what I wanted it as.
So then we're going to have legit a double main event, and then it's just the where do we... So I'm just going to have to write Nova's mystery match, because I don't actually know until it's locked in. Nova match. You can write the actual competitors if you like on yours, because I've written mine on mine, and I'll just have to leave space to do it.
Yep.
So then that leaves Hogan versus McQueen, Mickey and Minnie, because I'm still kind of leading to wanting Mickey and Minnie in the main event, just because Mickey is the face of Disney. But at the same time, do you think Hulk Hogan, brother, is going to settle for being the second last match? Like,
that's where I was like, no, he has to be main.
State your case.
It's fucking McQueen, man. Like,
because the way I'm looking at this is, right, and because originally I said the Hulkamania monster truck, and you fought me on this so hard. You were like, no, it has to be a wrestler. So I said,
you told me it did. That was a technicality. You would not let me cheat and take technicalities this time around.
You stitched me up.
You
stitched me up with Lightning McQueen.
You're not doing it.
My thing is, this one, and you've got the notes in front of you. We're not going to reveal it yet. This one is a fucking landslide. And I said, how about Hulk Hogan in the monster truck? And you were like, I don't like it, but I'll allow it, right?
I'll allow it.
And then it's like, okay, it's Hogan versus McQueen and da-da-da-da-da. But the thing I look at it is, and I don't think you've actually seen this clip, but they did a thing, it was, I don't know if it was Halloween, I think it was Halloween Havoc in like 96 or 97 or whatever year it was, could have been 95, I think it was 96. Anyway, they did Hogan versus the Giant, and I think, like they revealed there was other people actually driving, but they were driving, right, like in a movie, and they were going head to head with their monster trucks, and literally the loser had to have their monster truck basically, pushed out of the circle. And it ends with Hogan actually physically shoving the Giant himself off the building, and he should have died, but then he comes back and wrestles that night because he's the Giant, by God. But my thing is, if Hogan's going to be in this, do we do this as a backstage, like pre-tape segment just to break it up, and then we have the actual wrestling with the thing? Because I'm like, how does Lightning McQueen, like, how do we do this with him getting in the ring? Is there a ramp? Is it extra, like, what are we doing here? Like, I just think that it should be like a spectacle.
He comes down like Sting.
And the crane,
hear me out. The crane is Maida's cousin. Okay?
They lower McQueen from the rafters.
Yes.
You know what shits me off is, and I said this to you in the car.
And then they bring out a ramp, and that's how he finishes. He leaves.
I said this to you literally today in the car. I was watching This Is Awesome, and they were talking about factions and yada, yada, yada. And they showed Hogan in the NWO truck. Like, it was the same one because it had, like, the arms and that, but they gave it a new paint job. I said to you, man, I wish I had have done the NWO Hogan just to make it a real heel Hogan versus babyface McQueen, and now you're like, he's coming down the rafters like Sting. Motherfucker, I should have put the NWO one. Because that's the whole point of Sting coming from the rafters. It was so the NWO couldn't get him because they didn't know when he was coming. Okay, all that aside, do you still want that as the main event, or do you want...
Yes, because it's a spectacle. And I want in every poll, I want there to be fireworks coming out. I want there to be pyro coming out.
I think, look, we'll do best 2 out of 3.
Okay. Because I want this is the main event. I will fight for it.
We're flipping for it.
Fight to the death.
We're flipping for it.
Okay.
Call it heads or tails. We'll do best.
Tails now, fails.
You can say that. That's a head.
That's a head.
Oh, that's a tails.
Oh, come on, baby. Come on.
Yes!
Oh, damn it.
So, match number 9.
Oh, I should have got my actual fucking flipper one. I've got it somewhere, damn it.
I just do that so that way
I brought a coin. I brought a fucking, like, death-looking mad cool coin from Temu.
I just do it that way so that they can hear, like, the effect of
that's cool. I actually really like that.
Flipping. Okay.
God damn it.
So, match number 9 is going to be Hogan versus McQueen.
I fought, guys. I fought. Fought so hard and got so
But again, like, we're just over half an hour in. Like, we're smashing through this, which gives us time to waffle. And then, boom, I'm just going to draw an arrow because it's right there. Your main event. So, I'm just going to take another sip.
So, main event is Tez Bianca
versus Mickey and Minnie. Hashtag not my Disney. They did not get divorced. Mate, I'll be more disappointed with their divorce than my own parents' divorce. Sorry, Mum.
Jeez, that's just sad.
I'm not even going to end that out.
Should be a button for it's like savage.
Oh, God damn it. There we go. And again, I
that kind of
fucking
works.
whatever. That's what I was looking for. Because like it's two different shades. Yeah, that's this one. Which is the more
we should use that for our anniversary.
The more you know.
No, it's not. It's romance.
It's the more you know.
It's
romance.
romance.
It said it in the user manual.
Well, they're lying because it's romance.
Okay, so we'll take it from the top. Match number 1, locked in.
Take it from the top.
Bam Bam Bigelow versus Beast.
Yes.
Luna versus Mother Gothel.
Uh-huh.
Sin versus Chuckles. Rockers versus Pooh and Piglet. Number 5 is John's mystery match, which I can now announce is Batista. Specifically Batista.
Oh, okay.
Specifically Batista 05, because
wait. Why are you saying, yeah, I thought you said we had to wait till everything was locked in.
They're locked in.
What about Mercedes and Ariel and Rikishi and Baymax? We haven't
Yes, we did. They all got locked in at the start.
Did we?
We had them in the same order.
Oh, yeah, we did too. Duh, sorry. My bad. Okay, back to what you're saying.
Batista 05 specifically, like fresh off winning the Rumble and beating Triple H at WrestleMania, because I really wanted to use that version of him because I love the render in the graphic.
So, Batista, I'm just writing this down. What version, sorry?
Batista, doesn't matter, it's just Batista 05, but it's
05,
Batista.
okay.
Batista
yes.
versus Scar in an animal
cool.
versus animal clash.
Okay, I don't have either of those.
Be a Bumblebee.
So that's kind of anticlimactic because mine is just like obscure and I don't have either of those.
I really wanted that.
I don't even have Lion King at all.
When we first said Wrestlers versus Disney, that popped in my head and legit the graphics were originally going to be like orange and shit. So it was Lion King themed and then I just went like Disney World with the blue and
and I'm like, guess what? Fuck that, and then just fucked it right up.
It's probably because I kind of like I made the logo on the fly as well to make it look Frozen inspired. So I was like, fuck, now I just went blue and man. Anyway, after that we have Mercedes versus Ariel, Rikishi versus Baymax,
that's right.
Nova's mystery match, which is drum roll please.
Hey,
that's the closest I've got to a drum roll.
It is Mako Satomura.
Oh Jesus.
Versus. Are you ready for it?
Mako Satomura.
It's pretty obvious. Are you ready for it?
Yep.
Mulan.
Oh!
Because Mulan's one of my fucking favorite Disney characters. Hey!
So we're getting an extra female match on this card. Let's fucking go. And then match number 9, your semi-main event, much to Mrs Crossfire Novalee's chagrin. Brother versus Ka-chow! Hulk Hogan versus Lightning McQueen.
Okay, and I'm just gonna say that Macho Man's also in the match. He's just there. And then we're gonna have
Macho Man's the guest commentator. You know, he did some commentating back in the day when Vince forced him to retire. Yeah.
And then there's also another commentator, Mater.
or Macho Man's just in like the corner of Hulk, and no. They're both in their respective corners, yes. but they're still hooked up to like to headsets.
Yeah.
So like every time they give an encouragement, it's getting picked up by the microphone. It's like, "Come on, McQueen!
Oh my God.
You got this, McQueen!"
And then Hulk Hogan's like, "Oh yeah, you got this, brother. Macho Man's got your back, Hulkster."
McQueen, like, even though he's a babyface, he's a little bit of a diva. So he brought his own commentators. It's the same commentators from the Piston Cup.
Michael Cole sitting next to Daryl Cartrip.
Yes.
And Doc Hudson's just in the corner like, "Come on."
Yes.
Turn right to go left.
Thank you. Maybe I should say no thank you. Because in opposite world, maybe that really means thank you.
And then instead of the green shirt guy in the crowd, it's that couple that gets lost in Radiator Springs.
Oh, no. Instead of green shirt guy, it's the twins, but it's when in McQueen's imagination they've turned on him and they've got the green Chick Hicks colours. So they're still green.
Chick Hicks should come along and he just fucking interferes with the match.
Chick Hicks is the special guest timekeeper because they just had to give him some sort of role. So they're just like, okay, you're just...
Should have made him the special guest ref because he fucking hates him. Oh, this is just getting derailed.
Flo is the special guest, like, ring announcer. I got gas. Stay with me, boys. Stay with me. And of course, the main event is Bianca Belair, Montez Ford, Love It WWE, Bianca and Montez versus the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse of Mickey and Minnie.
Yes.
Holy shit, what are we doing with our lives right now?
It's just got super wet.
I've got to scroll back up now. For some reason, I've bumped my phone and I've gone down to the WrestleMania portion of it, but...
Hey.
Oh, that's good soup. I don't even care about, like, chugging into the microphone anymore. This is what... Y'all get this for free. You get what you pay for. But, match number 1 is Bam Bam Bigelow versus Beast. Mrs. Crossfire, what is your vote for this match?
I'm going to say that Bam Bam wins.
You see, I also went with Bam Bam despite the fact that it was your pick, which means that with the fans voting and our votes, this is a landslide of 12-4.
Oh, shit. Okay. So who wins?
Of Bam Bam
Hey!
Bigelow.
And that's on me, fool!
I'm not going to do that every time, but...
Because I didn't pick him just because he was my pick. I just generally... That's what I thought. You see.
5, 1, 2. Now, did you want to go through and do some more of these so I can quickly...
Okay, so did you want me to say who I reckon wins the next one?
Yeah, so I'm just quickly writing...
Because I haven't looked at the numbers because I didn't want to know.
I'm just quickly writing down
Okay,
the
so
names.
the next match we had was Luna Vachon versus Mother Gothel.
Yep.
And I would personally... I picked her, but I really want Luna to win. I reckon Luna would win.
Yes, you thought Luna would win? Okay, so your vote is Luna.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not even just saying this, but like I also went Luna. So that means with 9 votes to 5, your winner is Luna. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Your winner of match number 2 is Luna Vachon. Now I'm just going to keep trying to write down these.
The match 3 was Sin versus Chuckles. Personally, like, Chuckles was my vote, but I want to go with Sin Bodhi.
I also was going with Sin Bodhi, which means with 8 votes to 7, your winner is Sin Bodhi.
Hey!
1, 2, 3, 4.
Nice.
5, 6.
Okay, and the next one is the Rockers versus Winnie and Piglet.
Yes.
And see, I really love, like, Winnie the Pooh, but I'm going to go the Rockers.
Ooh.
I'm impartial because...
See, and this is
Michaels.
where I went with Winnie the Pooh and
Hey,
Piglet.
something different.
And the reason for this was I was talking to DPC about this, and oh fuck, we didn't like book stipulations and shit. I just realized we're smashing through. But anyway, whatever.
We can go through.
We'll do that after we've done the votes.
After.
Whatever. But I was talking to DPC about this, and he said this is where the Pooh and Piglet from Winnie the Pooh and Blood and Honey make an appearance.
Oh,
the nerds are sick and tired of being bullied by the Rockers.
Oh,
that they just fucking go ham.
Shit, that
and
actually
they
kind of
snap.
sounds cool though.
But you said the Rockers, yeah.
Yeah, I'll go the Rockers too.
So,
but that is really cool booking.
Your winner with 9 votes to 6 is Pooh and Piglet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then the next match obviously was Scar versus Batista, and all. Despite the fact that I booked this match, I honestly don't know who I wanted to win. I'm like, maybe Batista, just because it was 05 Batista, and that's the way that I made it.
Oh yeah, I'd probably
yada,
go.
yada.
I'd probably go Batista too.
So we're just gonna say Batista won that.
Yeah, because I'm really nostalgic for 05 Batista.
So your vote with 2 votes to 0 because the mystery match is Batista. Match number 6 is Mercedes versus Ariel. If you would like to cast your voice on that.
Because Ariel's one of my favorites.
So Nova's mystery match, which... Shit, did we even announce your mystery? Oh, that's right, you did.
Yeah.
Mako. Milan. Hulk. McQueen. I can't spell. Bianca. And Tez. Mickey. / Minnie. Okay, I've left myself fuck all. So who did you say you're voting for with this? You said Ariel?
Yep.
Okay. Now I just need to find it on my thing. So this is where I'm a little annoyed because I went with Mercedes, but that means with a vote of 9-7, your winner is Ariel. 1, 2, 3, 4,
So
5, 6.
did you pick Mercedes for that one?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Cute. And then...
The next match is Rikishi versus Baymax.
I'm actually going to go Rikishi.
See, I
love Baymax.
See, before you and I have casted this vote, this match is currently at a tie.
Okay, well I'm gonna go Rikishi, even though he wasn't my pick. I'm gonna go with Rikishi.
See, I also went Rikishi, and it wasn't that he was my pick. It's just that I feel like Baymax, he's a little bit slow, and he's more of a lover than a fighter. And I think Rikishi has shown
that.
Some,
and I think Baymax would get kind of distracted if Rikishi got injured. He'd be like, "Oh no," and then help him and band-aids and shit.
Okay, so that means your winner now at 9-7 is Rikishi. 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so Mako versus Mulan.
I'm gonna go Mako. Oh, actually no. Can I go Mulan? I'm gonna go Mulan. Actually, I think Mulan, and because I was gonna go Mako, but then I was like, wait, Mulan's a boss ass bitch. She's gone to war and shit. Mako's still super boss ass, but I was like, nah, I reckon Mulan. I'm tossing a turn.
See, I'm kind of I'm leaning more towards Mako, so I'm like, how do we do this? I'm like, she's been wrestling since she was Mulan's age, and
this is true.
Mulan's younger faster, but in the business of professional wrestling, Mako, she was the final boss long before Samoa Joe or The Rock were the final boss, or even Jake Andrew Arthur here in Australia.
Okay, you've swayed me. I was already swaying. You swayed me.
Okay, so we're saying...
Just go, Mako.
Okay, so 2-0 has the power invested in me. Mako Satomura. Okay, Hulk Hogan versus Lightning McQueen. What do we...
McQueen!
See, the funny thing is, off the bat, the moment you said Lightning McQueen, before I even picked up who was going to wrestle in my head, I'm like, just for shits and gigs, Lightning McQueen is going to win this. But we had, online, we had 12 votes for Lightning McQueen, because again, some people voted for this match and didn't vote for all of them, I think this was actually the most popular one. We only had 3 for Hulk Hogan, even though the monster truck was included. So, with mine and your votes, at 14-3, Hulkamania gets squashed in the semi-main. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What did I say? 14 votes to 3.
Whack.
Lightning McQueen. Wow, okay. Now, we've got obviously down to the last match here. We have Bianca and Montez versus Pooh and Piglet. Oh, sorry, not Pooh and Piglet. I'm writing Pooh and Piglet right now on the winners
Minnie
column.
and Mickey!
Versus Minnie and Mickey. Botchamania, whatever. I'm going to leave it in. Sue me.
Fuck it. I'm going to go Tez and Bianca.
See, and this is where I honestly was so fucking torn
I
for
am
this match.
torn. I was like, can we do a draw? No.
So,
I don't know
on
how that would
paper,
work.
it's 8 versus 8. It's actually 10 versus 10 because both Sean and DPC
Oh, they picked a draw as well.
voted for this to be a draw. So technically...
Because I was debating for it to be a draw, and then I was like, I don't know, because I'm tossed up between the two.
Well, you've gone Mickey...
I think I'll go Tez and Bianca.
You've gone Tez and Bianca.
Yeah.
I actually, obviously, it's wrestlers versus Disney. I've gone Mickey and Minnie because Mickey's the face here, which means that
and he's a feisty little trucker.
We now need to flip.
We need to flip
for the winner of this main event.
Hey, we've never had to do that before. So I blame DPC and Sean.
So we have 11 votes apiece right now.
I blame them too, because see, if they just picked a side, damn it.
See now, if here's the thing now, if this wasn't the main event, I'd say Sean's been begging for a draw on one of these at some point. If it wasn't the main event, I'd say, you know what? Time limit draw. Let's call it there. They'll just have to have a rematch with some sort of stipulation on the next one by default. But it's the main event, so we're flipping for this. You're not the guest, you're the co-host, but I always say ladies first, my darling wife.
I'm going to go heads this time because fuck Tails. Tails keeps failing.
Oh, Tails!
Are you fucking kidding?
Or heads?
Okay.
Oh, Tails!
Are you fucking kidding me?
So your winner.
This is bullshit! Motherfucker!
Your winner with, what did I say that would be now? That'd be, well, I guess, yeah, it was 11 all. But with that coin flip, sorry, Sean, if it wasn't the main event, I'm sure Mrs. Crossfire would agree. Hey,
I would have agreed, yes. Because I was tossing up myself.
But we've got, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Draw. And then in brackets, Minnie and Mickey. Coin flip. Doesn't matter, these pieces of paper just get thrown out anyway. But we've literally done all of that in under an hour, and the fact that we've forgot to do the stipulations, my bad. I got too ahead of myself. That's probably my fault, as always. I've had too much of this energy drink. It's full sugar. That's good soup.
Wait, are you serious? Like, not going off our thingo matches. I think we actually drawed ourselves. Like, just
have
picked by our picks.
Have we gone 5 and 5?
Because I picked Bam Bam, Luna, Ariel, and McQueen. They all won.
1, 2,
3, 4.
3.
Then you went Pooh Piglet, Rikishi,
2, 3.
Sin Bodhi, and Mini Mickey. So that's 4-4.
Oh, yeah, okay. So, and then the funny thing is, the wrestlers both won for our for our mystery matches, but we agreed. So does that mean do we chalk this up as a draw? Is that where the draw comes in?
It's where the draw comes in. Sean, you got a draw.
Is this the first time this has happened for us?
Yeah. Because usually I've won 2. Then what happened was you won the last one, and then now we're like on a draw. So I've won 2 technically, and then you've won 2 now as well. Technically, it would be my third because it would be a draw.
Because you won the fictional characters one.
Yeah.
I won the dinosaur one.
Yeah. But I swear there was one before that I'd won as well. Of something else. I think it was Rumble or something. One of the Rumbles.
I don't know, because the Rumbles, we've only done the one Rumble with Shane. And we all talked.
Didn't we no longer do some kind of Rumble or something?
No, we did the Survivor Series one, which was the fictional characters
Series,
one.
That's right.
It was wrestlers of fictional characters.
Yes,
you won.
I won that.
And then I won the dinosaur one.
Dinosaur one.
So technically we're 2 and 2.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, we're 2 and 2. Yeah. I randomly thought I won another one somewhere of something. I can't remember what it was.
Because I did another one with referee Steve. And we're going to have to go through the archives there. But I'm pretty sure that, I guess, with the draw, that puts us at 2 points apiece for Mark-A-Palooza.
Hey!
So, there's your draw. But just for shits and gigs, right, we'll recap this. Bam Bam versus Beast. Just regular old singles match.
Yeah.
Luna versus Gothel, regular old singles match.
Yep.
Sin versus Chuckle, it's...
comedy deathmatch.
So we're going like a mixture of both, kind of? Like just Circus of Doom deathmatch?
Yeah, because pardon me, because I was thinking like it had a bit of a comedic effect with some of the spots.
Or if
It
I
had
could,
some spots.
if
but
I
it
could
was
borrow
still-
a page out of my friend Zuzu's playbook, who former Courting Conversation alumni, a Cirque de la Mort, Circus of Death.
Yes.
Sin Bodhi versus Chuckles, and Rockers versus Pooh and Piglet, I think. Just a regular match.
Yep.
Batista versus Scar, regular match. Mercedes versus Ariel. I was honestly thinking, just for shits and gigs, make it a submission match, but what would Ariel's submission be? Because she won the match. Do we just leave it as an all match? It's up to you. I don't know.
I don't know.
Because 1, 2, 3, 4, and then
Oh, she could do some kind of like figure 4 kind of vibe with her tail somehow. I don't know how that would work.
1,
Actually, I don't know how she'd wrap it around. No, that probably doesn't make sense.
2, 3, 4. Yeah, so we've literally gone 4 and 4, and then we had the 2 mystery matches, which both of our wrestlers we collectively agree won. So yeah, we're literally technically, I guess, at 2 apiece for these Mark-A-Palooza episodes.
Yeah.
Because I think this is the third one you and I have done under this format. Because the other ones we did, like the Survivor Series ones, where we booked our full cards and we compared notes and yada yada yada.
Yeah.
And like we did agree, like I liked your opener more, you liked my main event more. And it was kind of, again, if we were comparing, that there was no real winner besides what the listeners said. And they always say, like, oh, we love both your cards. Well, pick a fucking side. But no, okay, I guess we're 2 and 2. But okay, we'll go back to Mercedes versus Ariel. You reckon regular match, submission match?
I don't know, because it's submission, I don't know what she'd do, really. Like,
You reckon it's a regular old match for this two then?
maybe. It's
And-
pretty boring, but yeah.
And then we got Rikishi versus Baymax.
I don't know. I can't think what, because I didn't really think into the stipulations as much. I
'Cause
usually
we
plan.
just-
I
usually
usually
we just-
plan it out.
Usually we'd lock the matches in and then we discuss that, but we got a little ahead of
Sidetracked.
ourselves. My bad.
but yeah.
But, I mean, we're doing pretty good for time so
so
far.
I'm a little bit caught off. I don't know.
Well, I
'Cause
can't believe we've drawn.
I don't want to make them all just the same,
Yeah.
like just boring matches. Because
And
at
then-
the moment, all we have is a comedy death match.
I mean,
Everything else is the
Mako
same.
versus Mulan could have some sort of
I think
like,
that should be more of a submission
match or a
Yeah.
knockout match or a you reckon
Or-
submission match or
I kind of think an I Quit match.
I Quit. I
Go
believe
I
this
Quit.
is this the second? I think this is the second one we had. I think wasn't Beth Phoenix versus the Was it the Styracosaurus that Beth
Yeah, I
faced?
think it was.
Yeah, that was an I Quit match too, I think.
too.
So McQueen versus Hogan. Does that have a stipulation, or are they just in the ring?
I
with
think
the
it's just in the ring, and it's
fuckery
just
the
a,
spectacle of him
I
being
think that's what it
lowered
is.
and
It's just a crazy.
got all the
spectacle.
crazy characters, both wrestling and Disney, doing commentary and in the corners and guest appearances. And,
Yeah, I think that's all that is.
But then I think at the same time, for a main event on the Disney versus Wrestle shows, I feel like it should just be a regular tag for Bianca and Montez versus Mickey and Minnie as well.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, because it's not as like crazy shenanigans as it usually is, but I think that's kind of a good thing at the same time, because usually fucking I've just Vince Russo shit up way too fucking often, and it just fucking goes nuts and off the rails.
So
But-
to recap then, we have Bam Bam Bigelow defeating Beast.
Yep.
Luna Vachon defeating Mother Gothel.
Yep.
You have Sin Bodhi defeating Chuckles the Clown in Cirque de la Mort, or a Circus of Doom deathmatch, however
Yep.
you want to brand this shit. You got Pooh and Piglet defeating the Rockers in a tag team match. You got Batista defeating Scar.
Ooh, oh no, I can't do that. I was gonna say with the tag team match could be like Lucha Rules, but I've done that before. That's like something I've already done before.
I mean, you could just go standard tornado tag.
Yeah, let's go that.
Tornado tag?
Tornado tag.
Not
just
that
to
it
mix
matters,
it up a
just
little bit.
because we've already got the fucking results now, but
I think that'd
leave
be
us
cool.
alone.
That's alright.
Yeah, Mercedes versus Ariel. Ariel defeats Mercedes in a regular match. Rikishi defeats Baymax. Mako Satomura defeats Mulan in an I Quit match. Lightning McQueen destroys Hulk Hogan.
In
and
a
I guess he probably burns out the motor of the monster truck, or the monster truck trying to catch him.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're going to do that in the ring when there's not
No,
much room,
you know
room to move.
what he does, he puts something like in his muffler.
Oh my God, Guido taints the monster truck. Guido and Luigi taint the monster truck.
Yes.
Pit stop.
Stop.
And then Mickey and Minnie, by a coin flip, and because it's the main event, we're not going to have a beer drill, by a coin flip. It was 11 versus 11, but Mickey and Minnie win. But again, we've technically had a draw here because we've gone 4-4 with our results. So Sean, you technically, on a technicality, got some sort of draw, Broadway, whatever it is.
Sadly, it wasn't actually in the card, but it was us. It's still a draw, damn it.
But you know what? I'm pretty happy with that. So do we quickly just recap again? So we'll go rapid fire. Did you want to do it or do you want me to do it?
You knew it.
Okay, so Bam Bam defeats the Beast. Luna Vachon defeats Mother Gothel. Sin Bodhi defeats Chuckles in a Circa de la Mort death match. Pooh and Piglet defeat the Rockers. Batista defeats Scar. Errol defeats Mercedes Moné. Rikishi defeats Baymax. Mako Satomura makes Mulan say I quit. Lightning McQueen squashes Hulkamania, brother! And Mickey and Minnie in the main event overcome Bianca and Montez. I feel like, honestly, it's one of it's the least ridiculous episode we've done, and somehow the most ridiculous one we've done at the same time, because we've got Lightning McQueen in there, and it's gone off the rails, and surprisingly we didn't get too sidetracked, but we've 4-4, and again, our mystery matches, both of the wrestlers won, but we collectively agreed that, hey, we want our wrestlers to win, just because it was a... But with that being said, I'm going to scroll down here and jump straight into WrestleMania predictions, Mrs. Crossfire. Now, we're going to miss part of the card on night one, probably just the main event, but we can always just watch it in the car on our mobile device, obviously in a respectable volume, so we don't distract the driver. But we're going to the Eels-Raiders game as we record this. Obviously, it'll be the day after this episode drops, so we're going to miss the huge tag match, which is The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. What is your prediction for that match? Obviously, if Rock and Roman win, it becomes Bloodline rules the next night. If Seth and Cody win, the Bloodline are banned from ringside for that match. Banned. So, this, again, usually when we've done predictions, we've actually agreed a lot with the lot of predictions we've done. I think The Rock and Roman win.
Oh, okay.
Because that way it gives Cody a bigger obstacle for the next night.
I do get that.
But
yeah,
you think they're going to get banned?
I reckon banned. Like, I do understand where you're coming from, but I think banned.
Because it could go either way, and it'd be a good way for, like... I love Roman, and honestly, if he did retain over Cody, I wouldn't fucking care. I'd laugh at all the people going nuts and losing their mind, because if Cody does finish the story... Where the fuck? What's the next chapter? Like, you can't just finish it. What? Like, he's the champ. What does he do? I still think, and again, I'm jumping ahead, but I think night 2, Cody's going to win, but then I think Priest is going to cash in.
Oh, true.
But I think Rock and Roman win that tag match. You think Seth and Cody? You sticking with that?
I'm sticking with Seth and Cody.
Women's World Championship, Becky Lynch versus Rhea Ripley. Good God, this match tears me all fucking kinds of ways. And if the rumors are to be believed... I just copy and pasted the matches in general. Dave Meltzer leaked the order of the matches. If the rumors are true, this match is actually going to be opening night 1.
Okay, right.
But I'm going to let you, because these are both your girls,
shit,
Becky, Rhea. Dude, we've been waiting for this match for literal years, and now they're both at the best that they've ever been. Like, this is...
it's so hard, because, you say that, and, like, it's just...
Because if anyone's going to stop Rhea, it's Becky, because she hasn't been in the title picture for a while.
Yeah.
But
at the same
Rhea,
time, I don't want Rhea to lose it. I want to wait.
Cover girl.
See, yeah, well, I want to wait till the dissension keeps, like, happening.
And they're kind of like...
They're teethering. And I was like, I kind of want to, like, Dom or someone to actually cost her the title.
I think Rhea retains. I feel like
she does, because I feel like there's still got a lot to do with her as a champion.
And I will elaborate with
I love Becky, but I just feel like there's more to do with Rhea yet. And I feel like they'll get their match again. They'll have another match somehow.
So you're saying
I'm going Rhea.
Rhea? I'm also going Rhea. I think Rhea retains. Gunther versus Sammy. Now, this is a hard one for me because usually I'm like, well, I think this guy, but I want that guy. I'll be honest. I think my wants are overpowering. I just burped into the microphone. My bad. Whatever. I think my wants are overpowering logic. I think, honestly, like, if anyone's going to beat Gunther's title reign, and honestly, if you're going to break it with how historic it's been, there's no bigger stage than the biggest stage in WrestleMania. But I honestly think Gunther's going to retain.
I feel that way as well.
And I discussed this with Sean and Samuel and Matt on one of my recent Twitch streams. Not, to cheap plug myself or whatever, but it was one of the recent My Rise ones, go back and watch it on YouTube, whatever. I truly think it's going to get to a point where Gunther is going to win the world title, like the heavyweight title that Seth currently has. And I think he's straight up.
Has both?
He's just going to... I think he's going to just vacate the IC.
Oh, you think vacate?
Or, I know it's WWE, not TNA. TNA with the X Division Championship, they have option C. You can cash in the X Division Championship for a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship.
See, I like that. I really like that.
I think either A, Gunther becomes a double champ and he just retains, but Sean and I were fantasy booking, and again, this is where my fantasy booking may overweigh. Gunther has not been pinned on the main roster.
Yeah.
In 3 years?
Yeah, right.
The whole time, he's lost one match by countout to Chad Gable, and then there was a time limit loss to Chad Gable where Chad Gable lasted the 5 minutes and yada, yada, yada. So he's not been pinned, he's not been submitted. I think my prediction, and it was, again, more fantasy booking, I want to see him say, hey, I've done this, this, and this. I need a bigger challenge. I need the world champion. Adam Pearce says, well, you can't be greedy. Hand in the IC title and you can main event, insert pay-per-view here.
Yeah.
I think Drew McIntyre has that. Again, it's kind of, heel versus heel. Because, again, next night, I think Drew's going to beat Seth. Again, we're jumping all over the place. But I think Drew's going to beat Seth. And I think Drew's going to be the first person to pin Gunther because Imperium, which has been having dissension, 1 minute Ludwig is the right-hand man, next minute it's Giovanni, they're flipping and flopping. Yeah. They're going to try and help him win. They're going to cause him to be pinned for the very first time, possibly in Scotland in June, or, because you got to think, Drew's a massive heel right now, but it's going to be a Bret Hart situation. When he walks into Scotland...
Oh, well, it's going to be like the Aussies when they come over here.
But that's what I'm saying, though. Like, but remember, Bret Hart was a hardcore heel, and it was, I hate America, fuck America, and they did that pay-per-view in Ontario, and...
You got cheered like a motherfucker.
It's the same as when Edge went to, Toronto, TLC versus John Cena.
Yeah.
I think Drew's going to come out, and obviously Gunther, he's still European, he's from Austrian, but I think on that night, Drew's going to be the babyface, they're going to be pulling for it, and even though... it's a bit shady finish, but it still works because when you come back to the States, they can be like, oh, well, Drew won because of shenanigans. Gunther fucking destroys Ludwig. He destroys Giovanni, and he says, no, that's the first time I've ever been pinned, and it wasn't clean, and this and that. And then he gets a rematch. And then at, say, Money in the Bank in Canada or, SummerSlam or whatever, he defeats Drew and he takes the world title. But I honestly think that Gunther is going to vacate the Intercontinental Champion. Regardless of fantasy booking or anything like that, I think Gunther's going to retain the Intercontinental Champion. Yep. Retain here, and I think he's going to vacate it down the line.
I think that sounds pretty fucking solid. I actually really agree with that.
Because the logical next step is he loses the IC title. He then goes and gets a world title shot despite the fact that he's just lost. It has happened before. But it's just like, where's the logic of, he lost, but now he's got this. And then you can be like, okay, well, Sammy's like, hey. And that kid still set it up. Sammy can go, hey, I beat you for this title. Put that one on the line too. And Sammy tries to become they do a title versus title match with both. Yeah. And it's, but
lots of ways, but yeah.
I truly think with the tear that he's on, and he's only the second person to do this, by the way, that there's been multiple people that have, I think there's 4 or 5 people that have defended the Intercontinental Championship at different WrestleManias. Gunther is only the second person behind Macho Man Randy Savage to defend the Intercontinental Championship at 2 separate WrestleManias within the same reign.
Yep.
And that is fucking huge. Like, and let's face it, he's blown the Honky Tonk Man's record out of the water, and it's still going on a daily basis. And we've talked about this, like, I think Dave fucking Meltzer's star ratings are a crock of shit, but WWE, very few and far between they've had 5-star matches, and when it does, it's usually NXT.
Yeah.
Gunther has 2, I think it could even be 3 5-star matches in this reign alone, defending that title. And I think, honestly, Sammy versus Gunther, on paper, that's a 5-star match.
Yeah,
like,
ours.
the clash of styles, the talent they both have, I think Sammy's going to be so fucking over, but he's just going to... And again, it could even lead into the tease that they've been doing with Chad Gable. Chad Gable could even cost him, because Chad Gable wanted to finish his story, much like Cody, but sorry, brother, mid-carders don't get to finish their story. Yeah. And I love Chad Gable. He could be a main eventer, he could be world champion, but the way he's viewed at the moment is he's a mid-carder, so fuck his story. That's basically what they're saying.
Yeah.
Because everyone wanted Gable at WrestleMania against Gunther. There was a botch at the end of the match. Gable's shoulder was up. It wasn't intentional. It was just a slip. They're like, hey, they could still work with this and make it a triple threat. And they've just gone, nah, it's Sammy versus Gunther. So maybe because Triple H has been really ear to the ground, and we've seen that with this Rock thing. Like, thank you, Cody Crybabies, because this version of The Rock is wow, and he's flipped. So I'm like, could Triple H be viewing the internet stuff and going, hey, let's roll with this, and Gable cost Sammy the match? Like, it's...
I just got like, whew. Like, I was like, what if, like, eventually, like you said, Gunther ends up with the world title, Gable wins, like, Money in the Bank or some shit.
Dude, imagine the fucking pop of Chad Gable.
Like, the fucking storytelling behind that.
I think, like, but again, even still,
would still be sick.
Sammy could beat Gunther, and then literally, like, 2 days later on Raw, Gable can, manipulate his way into a shot. Sammy's beaten down. He's fucking wrecked from 48 hours prior. Gable just plucks the IC title from Sammy.
Right?
Like, there's so many different... And this is why I'm glad that we actually switched for this, because we can talk for the next half an hour about this and yada, yada, yada. But I think, again, my heart of hearts, maybe I'm letting my Marky fucking ADHD booking with my mates get ahead of me.
Sick,
but I think somehow, someway, I think Gunther retains, and I think eventually, regardless of how it happens, I think, honestly, the only way Gunther is losing that title, and knock on wood that it's not from injury, is he vacates that title. I'm going Gunther. I think I've got to go Gunther.
I'm the same. I agree with that. You've really fucking won me.
Now, this one I am very, very torn on. We touched on it earlier on with the match of the week. Brother versus brother. Yeet versus no yeet. Jimmy versus Jay. Twin versus twin. Uso versus Uso. The only thing that would make this better is if it was tribal combat. But that then again gets my brain ticking, because you'd think after all of these months of being tortured and being fucked with and yada, 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 you'd think Jay would get the win, right? Like, it's the obvious choice. But what if, because you said you think in the main event, Seth and Cody are going to win. What if Solo helps Jimmy win? Therefore, he's so preoccupied earlier in the night, he misses his mark later in the night, causing Roman and Rock to lose. But then at the same time, because Jimmy has gotten that tainted win, Jay gets a rematch either at the next pay-per-view, not the next pay-per-view, because they're doing Backlash in France, which is fucking huge. Yeah. You could do the rematch in France. You could do it in Scotland. You could stretch it into SummerSlam to where they do tribal combat, which would actually be good storytelling, because last SummerSlam that just went by, we had tribal combat of Jay versus Roman, where Jimmy originally turned. So literally, you could have Jimmy win this match, stretch it for a few months, and then a year in the making, finally it is tribal combat again, and that's where Jay overcomes Jimmy. So it's my fantasy booking. It's running wild.
See,
I think Jimmy wins.
I hate this because you keep just turning me, because I was like, I was gonna go Jay, and now you want me to.
Because the thing is though, Jay could still win 2 straight because he's the babyface, and it wouldn't hurt Jimmy in the slightest. But I think Solo's gonna somehow get involved, and even if he doesn't like take Jay out, like Jay sees Solo coming, super kick to Solo, but not so fast because he was so fucking preoccupied with Solo and da 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 da. Turns around, super kick, maybe a couple of super kicks from Jimmy. Do you think there's gonna be an appearance for Rikishi here, or do they save it? Because I think it's WrestleMania.
See, they could.
They could beat the fucking shit out of each other. They could shake hands. They could dance with Rikishi. And then on SmackDown later on, whether it's Roman, whether it's Rock, they can be like, Jimmy, the fuck were you doing, bruv? You're too busy dancing that only Solo was out there. You were both meant to be out there and da-da-da-da. Like, there's all of these moving... And this is why I love the Triple H era. There is so much shit that can happen.
You could always have Jimmy, right? You could have fucking Jimmy wins. And yeah, he's too busy celebrating at the fucking back with Rikishi and that and the rest of the family that he doesn't come out. Or he's getting smashed or something, like drunk.
Because they keep saying but because he's beating fucking Jay, he's backstage, he's got like the tequila or the vodka. He's like, yeet! And he's with Rikishi and he's just like, look, you know, you guys are going to put this... And he's like, yeah, sure, whatever. Like, you know... But, no, my prediction for this, honestly, I'm actually going with Jimmy.
Fuck it, I'll go Jimmy too.
Okay?
Yeah.
So what's that? We've only got one difference so far, so there you go. So now we have the 6-pack ladder match for the Undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships. Now, again, I had in my mind how they're going to do it. And then this past week on Raw, they glossed over it way too much. I feel like they should have focused on it more. They have announced that, obviously, the reason they're the Undisputed Tag Team Championships is because technically they are still different like lineage. There's the Raw titles. There's the SmackDown titles. They have said, they've gone on record saying that the match ends once both sets of titles have been pulled down.
Oh.
So this is where, again, my mind just goes, hey, we could do this, this, and this. I think the Judgment Day pull down the SmackDown titles, thus being forced to separate from the Judgment Day, because Rhea is on Raw.
Oh, fuck. You
Dom
need to
and
stop
JD
doing this.
are on Raw, and I think, honestly, DIY are going to pull down the Raw tag titles. I think...
Yep.
I mean, Miz and Truth were like, it was a toss-up between those two, but I think, and again, this is more just me saying, hey, DIY have finally got their moment. It's a ladder match. Even if they lose it 2 days later on Raw to like the New Day or the Creed Brothers or something, give DIY their WrestleMania moment. They have worked so fucking hard. And let's face it, like Ciampa's in the best stage of his life, but he is winding down with the neck injuries that he has had. Give them their moment. Again, it's more fantasy booking, but I think Judgment Day pull down the SmackDown titles. I think DIY pull down the Raw titles.
Fuck, I'm for that. I'm fucking for that. Stop doing this. But I think they're going to... Because, like, and again, maybe they didn't want to harp on it too much because then it'd make it obvious that they're going to split them up. But I think that the way that they're just going, both titles have to be... I think they're splitting the titles back up, which... And hopefully they'll get a new design. Because it has been rumoured that they're getting new designs as well. So... But no, I think, and again, as I said, I think Priest is going to cash in on Cody the next night. So that's his loophole of, well, I have the SmackDown title. At the same time.
And I have the, because he's already on SmackDown anyway with the tag titles. So if he cashes in on Cody, takes the WWE champion, he's like, okay, well, I'm going to stay on SmackDown regardless because I have this now.
Could you imagine if it just fucks your plans completely and it's like the Judgment Day both pull down both? So like they have one each in each hand. And it's kind of like...
They just retain the titles.
They retain the titles and they've got both. And then it's just like, okay, cool. And then the next night, cool, so we're unifying the titles. Could you imagine?
Yeah, well, they're technically unified at the moment, which is why they're going to break them up. But I think, honestly, Judgment Day, they're going to pull down the SmackDown tags. Yeah, but I mean,
no, as in unified. I mean, like, they get new titles.
Yeah. Because there's been rumours of new title designs, but they haven't specified it if it's going to be Raw and SmackDown, or both, because I feel like
they're just gonna merge it.
The brand split's always kind of laughable, but this time around they have still done it a lot better than the last 3-4 years that they've done it.
Yeah.
Because every time Judgment Day are on SmackDown, they're like, "Hey, we've got the tag titles," and then Nick Aldis is like, "Okay, but why is Rhea with you? Because she's da-da-da, and why is Dom with you?" And they're like, "Well, we're the Judgment Day. We do everything together." And it's been the same on Raw when Jimmy Uso's come over. Adam Pearce is like yelled at Nick Aldis. He's like, "What are you doing? Like, how dare you let your superstar attack his?" And they've really hammered home that they're not meant to be here, and that's more than they've done. So, but again, at the same time, if you really keep it where they're going, where the brand split for the most part is still intact, then hey, whoever the tag champs are can just bounce between the two brands, and that's it. Like, because they did it with the undisputed WWE Championship in 2002 before they brought back the world title. When Taker had it, he was a SmackDown superstar, but because he was the world champ, he was able to bounce back and forth because everyone was gunning for that title. You could do that with the amount of tag teams they have, I wouldn't be mad at that. They've done it with the women's tags as well, which makes sense. Like, you're the tag champ, so therefore you get a free pass to go on whichever show you want. Or maybe one show's GM says, hey, that show is getting too many title shots. You're going to defend the titles on this show because we want ratings and you're obligated and da-da-da-da. But no, I think they are going to split the titles up, but what do you think?
I agree.
So the teams we have here...
I actually
I did
like the sound of that.
So the actual teams we have, and this brings up a completely another situation. We have Damian Priest and Finn Balor, who have both sets of titles. Awesome Truth, Miz and R-Truth, DIY, Gargano and Ciampa, The New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. Part of me's like, imagine like the Judgment Day gets involved and, oh, Philly! Fucking Big E comes in, evens the odds. Like, I know, again, it's fantasy booking, but it's Wrestle-fucking-Mania!
Yeah, well,
imagine the pop!
Could you imagine?
And he's doing all of the pre-shows and shit now.
I was going to say that, and he's been on ads and stuff lately. I'm like, yeah, you're trying to remind us he exists. I feel like he's going to come back soon.
He did an interview where he's like, oh, I don't know. Like, I've kind of been cleared, but like it's too much of a gamble. And it could be the truth, but at the same time...
Kayfabe, brother.
You know what I mean? Like, and the thing is, he could still run in and just push the ladder over. He doesn't have to take a bump. Like, everyone can stay down and be like, look, everyone stay in your spot. Do not fucking touch him, because anyone touches him, you're getting fined and possibly fired. Like, I know that's harsh, but just, stay where you're meant to. Let Big E push the ladder over. Walk out of the ring. Walk backstage. Like, that's all you got to do. And I could see that happening. Like, Dom or someone tries to help pull it down, and Big E just pushes the ladder over. Dom takes a bump. Big E gets out, literally just grabs Dom and just drags him backstage, sort of thing. Like, you could do that, and Dom's someone you could trust to do that spot too. But we got the new Catch Republic. I still miss the name British Strong Style, but the Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, their new logo is sexy as fuck, and I want it on a t-shirt, preferably like a charcoal or a navy shirt. Like, maybe it's just because I've been doing a lot of posters and
I
stuff.
don't know, because
I don't know if you've seen their new logo, but it's mwah.
So what's the new logo actually look like?
So
I was going to say something, and now I'm like, I need to know what this logo looks like.
The last team in this is A-Town Down Under, Theory and Waller. There's a lot of rumours that they're going to get pulled from this match at the last second.
Oh.
And now obviously Matt Hardy's contract's up. He's made no secret that he is personally, I'm Googling it now, he is personally trying to buy out Jeff's contract from AEW, because obviously Jeff missed time due to injury, so it got tacked on. Matt has publicly said that he is trying
to get back
to buy out Jeff's the remainder of the contract, and there's rumors that the Hardys are going to get put in there, and then a team that just became free agents, and there's lots of rumors that they're WWE bound, but there's rumors that Motor City Machine Guns could be the replacement. And that, dude, if MCMG showed up in a WWE, you already know how I'm gonna react to that.
Sploosh.
Like,
sploosh.
Okay, so well, this fucks it, because I've just Googled their logo, and they've only had it on the Titantron as of this week on SmackDown, and it's not coming. It's not coming up. But do you think that Theory and Waller will be pulled from this match?
Possibly,
and
yeah.
if they do,
it all
who
depends.
do you think? Because then people have said it's Philly, EC Dub, maybe the Dudleys. Devon is pretty much crippled at this point. I don't want to see him taking bumps off ladders. But it's the same as the Hardys.
Yeah.
Now, Matt's saying, oh, Jeff's in the best space. He's the cleanest he's ever been, which is great for him on a personal and professional level. But I barely, like, Matt can still go and he can still wrestle.
But at this point, I don't even want to see Matt in a ladder match. He's one of my all-time faves, but I'm just like, bro.
Oh, it kept killing me when we were watching AEW.
Yeah, man.
When he was doing those crazy bumps.
Because I said to Kai,
I
said to Kai, I'm like, you could go maybe Matt and Bully, and you have half the Dudleys, half the Hardys. Because they've done, Jeff and Bubba Ray were a team for a bit back in 2002 with the original brand split. They're like, well, you know, Matt's being a heel over here, Devon's being a heel over here on SmackDown. You guys are babyfaces, so fuck it. You can do some TLC and tables matches as a tag team just because why not? And it did make sense, but I'm just like, I don't know. Because Austin Theory, I'm still a very big fan of him, and that's one good thing Vince McMahon did right. Vince did a great job of building him as a star, and I guess in a lot of ways, that was Hunter's first show of, and it's kind of spiteful, but people didn't believe he was in charge. Theory got reined back in really fucking hard when Triple H took over. But at the same time, maybe I'm being biased, I feel like Grayson Waller, he's everything that Vince wanted Austin Theory to be already, and he's barely scratched the surface. Like he's done segments with Cena.
Mate.
He's done segments with Cody and Seth. He wrestled Edge. He wrestled AJ Styles when he was still in NXT.
You look at it. Didn't he only wrestle over here for 4 or 6 years before he went over to WWE?
He started training in 2017. And he got signed in, 2020?
Yeah.
I think it was actually.
So that's 3
I think it was
or 4
actually
years.
2019, but I think COVID fucked it because he was over having tryouts. Because
Yeah.
you and I, we hadn't started dating yet.
Like that is fucking
But January
crazy.
2020, January 2019, you and I had only just started talking. It was literally, I think, the week of us starting talking. I went to a Wrestling Go show. Maddie was in the Rumble. He entered at number 1. He made it all the way to the end and then got tossed out by Jack Bonza, and then Bonza was eliminated by Alex Irvine. Alex Irvine won. It was a massive fucking thing.
Right.
But Maddie Wahlberg at the time, Grayson Waller now, sorry, I still call him Maddie after all this time. Just I'm not trying to be like edgy. It's just a habit. But he did a promo and he's like, look, after this match, I'm going across. He's like, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to put it out there that it's not going to be the last time I go over there, right? And he got a look in, and then all of a sudden he got signed, went to NXT. Instantly, when they did the NXT 2.0, you can say what you want about that, but guys like him and Bron Breakker and Tony Gent, they all had an amazing thing. And then obviously he's got to the fucking main roster, and he's just skyrocketed. So for me, following this guy literally since day one, the last handful of years, if he gets pulled out of that match, especially in Philly, because he's a huge Philadelphia Eagles fan, much like Mrs Crossfire and Overly, oh, my heart would break for him. And the thing is, though, even at the level that he's at, like the experience level he's at, he is such a consummate, like, despite what you see of him being a arrogant prick as in character and yada, 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 he is an absolute professional. And as much as it would break his heart, I guarantee you if they said, hey, you need to step aside because this is what we're doing, he'd do it.
Yeah.
But they could also just do what they did with the Hardys at WrestleMania 32 when they came back to that ovation, which to me is still the loudest pop in WrestleMania history ever. Like, I'm not just talking about for me, I'm not just talking about all-time pops. It was massive. They could just, it was originally a triple threat tag team match. And then New Day came out in gear, and they're like, this is now a 4-way, because they were the hosts and made it look like they were going to put themselves in the match. And everyone was like, oh, yeah, okay, that's cool. Like, it's the New Day. But then the Hardys music hit. So who's to say that there may still be a mystery team, and they might just make it a 7-way fucking tag match? But what do you think? Like, who do you think has the titles at the end of this? Otherwise, we're just going to rant for another half an hour just on this match.
I think I'm just gonna go. I think I'm gonna go the same as you. I agree.
You think they're going to split the titles up?
Yeah.
You
I
think in
reckon they'll
that
split
same
it up.
order, or
Yeah. I think that sounds about right. Also, you were looking for that logo. I'm still waiting.
Yeah, I can't find it anywhere.
Oh, you can't find it. Okay.
Because I only debuted
I was gonna say.
we're recording this on Thursday, right? SmackDown happened this past Saturday. They only debuted it on their Tron this past week.
See, the reason, because I was gonna say like a maroon red.
Yeah, well, the actual
say
font on the logo is a reddy maroon.
Oh, okay, because you know why? Because I was thinking of old British strong style under a fucking big top tent. A lot of the time they'd wear maroon shorts, and for some reason, like the graphic designer and me,
Pete Dunne's gear a lot of the time has that colour on it.
And I was like, that colour.
It says new catch and it curves downward. and then it says Republic upward to make kind of a circle.
Oh, cool.
And then there's
I
like,
need
it's
to
like
have a
their
look at
signatures
this.
is on it in white, and then it says it's some sort of catchphrase around it in white. So it's just like a circle, almost like a Cesaro's old logo with
Fuck yeah, I'll have
the
to have
earth
a-
and stuff.
Try and find
But it's,
it.
it's a
somewhere.
very simple logo where it's very like word oriented, but I'm like, it'd look really good because obviously it's on SmackDown. The backdrop for SmackDown is blue. So it was on the dark blue. So I'm like, that'd look really cool on a navy shirt or a black like charcoal style shirt.
Yeah.
Like, I'd really fucking, especially dark grey specifically, I think would look awesome. But I'll have to try and we could even boot up SmackDown and just go through just to show you
Yeah,
afterwards, just
because
because
I
of
missed
ADHD
it
moment.
the other day because I was running around doing stuff.
But
so
no,
I was like,
you
shit.
you think DIY and
Yeah.
do you think they're going to pull down the exact ones that I said, or
Yeah, I think that because I just like the way that you said, like, pretty much it just breaks them up.
Yeah. And then, yeah, so do you think there's going to be another team added? Because I don't think it's going to be Motor City. I think it probably,
I reckon
Wouldn't
it's either
surprise
gonna be
me
the
if it is gonna be
Hardys
the
or something.
Hardys.
Yeah, I'm getting the Hardys.
I just don't want them to take, again, I love Theory. He's an incredible talent. But I just really don't want them to pull Matty out of WrestleMania, Grayson, whatever you want to call him. I will, it's one of those things where I say, let it play out, and, all the neckbeards and stuff complain about the littlest thing, but that's going to
Yeah.
break my heart if they do pull him out.
It
of that
will be
match.
so fucking sad.
Especially with the tear he's been on, but yeah, okay. Bianca Belair, Naomi, and Jade Cargill making her official proper match. Like, she made her in-ring debut in the Rumble, but her first traditional wrestling match against Damage Control of Dakota, Asuka, and Kairi Sane. I did say that they should just make this a winner-take-all fucking match for the tag titles and just have whichever team wins defend it under Freebird rules, but it's a non-title match. But who do you think wins this?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because, like, you can, on one hand, you don't want the champions to win. Like, if it's a non-title match, they
Yeah.
can win without it meaning anything. But, sorry, you don't want the champions to, you don't want the champions to lose. But I'm like, at the same time, I'm like, Jade, she was on TV for a little bit. They took her off for a few
it's
weeks. She come into the
hard.
Rumble, as everyone
Because
expected.
That's what I mean. I'm kind of vibing more towards Jade and them. Like, I'm not a big fan of Naomi,
Because
but
I think that Jade's going to get the pin.
yeah, because I don't know, they're building her up like a mother trucker. And that's why I'm kind of torn because I love Damage
But at the same
Control,
time,
but-
now that Dakota's been cleared, she has main evented multiple episodes. Dakota Kai has main evented, I think, 3 episodes of SmackDown now in wrestling,
Do you
which is
reckon-
fucking awesome when
do
you think about The
reckon
Rock and Roman opening them.
Do you reckon, I know she's not healed, but do you reckon Bailey comes out and does some shit? Or...
Yeah, because I'm like, Io and Bailey are on the next night because Bailey won the Women's Rumble. It's like
Yeah.
Io could potentially run in, but then it's like, why would she do that if she's focusing on defending the title? But at the same time, maybe Bailey does come in and stops him from cheating and and then Io can come out, like they can brawl backstage and set up. Like,
It just
I
makes me
think
wonder.
the faces win. I think the faces
Yeah.
win. I think Jade
I
Cargill gets the
agree.
pin.
Yeah.
Probably pinning Dakota, unfortunately. But because she's not one half of the tag champs where the other two are. And apparently Asuka is dealing with an injury, so she's probably not going to do much. But I think Jade's going to pin Dakota.
I agree. Yep.
And then we got Ray and Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio.
Santos and Dominic for me.
My prediction, Dominic pins Ray. Ray
Yep.
retires because it's in Philadelphia. He got his start in ECW.
Yeah, that makes so much sense.
The injuries have really kept up with him. He
Fucking
made his return match
yeah.
2 weeks ago. You didn't watch it because it was when I was actually in Canberra for ICW. I watched the highlights. He slipped on about 3 or 4 different springboard
Oh,
attempts because his
shit.
knees are just not,
They're shot.
which is why they're making it a tag match with Dragon Lee. Because I feel like they would have done a singles match with Ray and Dom, honestly. But I think Dom pins Ray.
Yeah.
Do you think Ray takes the mask off?
Oh, I don't think he takes it off. I think it gets ripped off.
You think Dom rips it?
I reckon he rips it.
That's
Or he takes it off and puts it on himself.
you and I have had this discussion, and I
We've
honestly,
said this from the beginning when he first started and he was a face and he was with his father. That this is how it's going to
because
end.
I even said, and I'm so mad that the tag title match is a ladder match. Because I said to you last year that they're going to have this match, and I literally said it's going to build to a rematch in Philly, ladder match, one of Ray's masks hanging above the ring, and Ray retires. I was half right. We're still getting it in Philly. But I still stand by. I think
Yeah.
Ray retires in Philly, and that's why I
could
wanted them
see
to.
it happening.
And that's
It's
why I
gonna
wanted them
kill
to
me,
hold
but I
off
can
on
see
the
it
Hall of Fame
happening.
because I even said go in the
Yeah.
Hall of Fame. But I think it's too perfect. Like I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
I don't know Ray personally, but I just think at this point
He's getting there.
you couldn't write this any better. Like if
Like,
it were a movie,
I could have him want to go on till he's like fucking
Yeah,
70
and that's
because I
it, right?
fucking love him. It's
That's
the
it.
nostalgia, but I'm like, dude, don't. Like, your body's getting
like
fucked.
when
mate.
Taker,
Like,
retired against Roman, but then he
Yeah.
wasn't happy with the match, so he came back and Part of me was like, fuck yeah, he's back. But at the same time, you go back and you watch that moment, and it still makes me emotional, even after the fact, knowing that he came back. It's still, part of me's like, whether he takes it off, but my prediction is Dom rips it, but whether Dom rips it or he takes it
either
off,
rips
I
it
think
or he takes it off and puts it on himself.
it's
like,
Philly. You
heel
almost,
shit.
you've got to have that moment.
Yeah.
You've got to. Like, I just,
Yeah.
not saying, hey, Ray, you're past your prime, put him out to pasture, but I just think, I'm very big on symbolism. That's what I said. You could stretch this fucking Uso versus Uso match all the way to SummerSlam for another tribal combat because it's literally a year in the making. But I think it's too perfect.
I can't think of his fucking name, but he was there last year and he inducted Ray.
Conan.
I wouldn't be surprised if Conan's there somehow in some capacity when he goes to retire.
Yeah, well, people are saying that, like, Carlito's going to turn heel because he wanted to be the partner, not Dragon, and he played that off really well. I mean, again, I've gone on record to say my feelings about Carlito, but you can't deny the talent that he is and his facials and everything. Like, he's great. Carlito shows his true colors. Conan comes to save Ray, you know? Or even a Savio Vega, who was at Backlash, comes out with the fucking kendo stick and kind of, he literally, Dom semi-rips the mask. They stop him from ripping it. And then Ray kind of looks around and he literally just goes, whatever, and just throws it at Dominic's feet.
Yeah.
And then you got, like, Savio, Conan, Ray.
Yeah.
Like, again, I'm not saying all of these stars are going to be there because it's WrestleMania, but I'm just like, it's Philly. I think this is it for Ray.
Yeah.
I truly think it is.
I
He's
could
old
see
school.
it
I see him
happening.
going out on his back.
You're just making so much fucking sense. It's
Dom-
driving me nuts. But yeah.
Dom is without a doubt a future world champion. People talk about nepotism and this and that, and he should have gone to NXT. He has he has natural timing. That's something you can't. No matter how many reps you do on the Indies or at a performance center or NXT, you cannot teach natural timing. Dom has that. Everything he makes up for in ring, he makes up for with character work, and I just think Dom pinning Ray in Philadelphia is just
Chef's kiss.
it's too good to not do it. Like the fucking heat, and then again, depending on the order of the card,
Muy caliente.
depending on the order of the card, you can come out and go. So say imagine that's like the second last match, right? Like, oh fuck, like Dom's got heat, Ray's retiring. Oh, I'm heartbroken. If you somehow, they're right back up. Like, but no, I think.
Yeah.
So if we literally, there's only one we've disagreed on. It was the main event.
It's hard because you've just been spinning like really good fucking facts, and I'm like, dude, you're making so much fucking sense. I just have to. Agree
Okay,
with
so we're just over an hour and a half. We'll try not to waffle on too much longer. Night 2.
Yeah.
Main event. Roman versus Cody 2, Universal Championship. What's your prediction?
Cody.
I also think Cody, but I still think.
And then I
again,
still agree with Damien Priest.
But the funny thing is, you and I have actually been saying this off air for months.
Yeah, we've been saying it for months.
Because it's like, and it's what I said before. If Cody finishes the story, what now?
Yeah.
And Priest, he's kind of been lackluster a little bit as Money in the Bank, but the last year that the showing with against Bad Bunny at the Puerto Rico pay-per-view and Backlash, even a little bit before that when Bad Bunny made his official debut, he teamed with Priest against Miz and Morrison. Hey, hey, ho, ho. They've been building and building and building, and it's very clear, especially in NXT, he's a Triple H guy, right?
Yeah.
And how often does a show, especially WrestleMania, end with the bad guy winning? Like, yeah, last year Roman won, but the show still ended with Cody in the ring, and he's heartbroken. Yeah, it was sad, but hey, it's Cody. Like, put your hands together. Good job, Cody. Like, straight up, have it go off air. Judgment Day standing tall. Like, yeah, maybe they've lost the Raw tags. Maybe they haven't. Maybe they've got all the fucking gold. Like, they could have both sets of tags, and Rhea could have. But the show going off air with the Judgment Day holding the championship, and everyone keeps saying that, they're still going to do Judgment Day versus the Bloodline at Survivor Series. That could be the start of that.
Yeah.
Because, like, yeah, okay, Cody beat Roman and they're pissed off, but the Judgment Day stole the Bloodlines moment as well. Like, there's so many legs that you can go from there when you've got a 9-month build. Like, but no, I think Cody wins, and I think Priest cashes in. I think WrestleMania goes off the air with the heels, and we're all like, what the fuck? Because it is a little bit predictable, but it's still out of the realm of possibility of will they, won't they?
Yeah.
But no, I think Cody retains. Cody wins the title. Priest cashes in. The reason I said Drew was because the next match is Seth versus Drew.
I know we're going to disagree on this because you've already
Yeah, I think Drew wins.
Drew. I think Seth.
You think Seth retains?
I think Seth retains, and you know why? I reckon because Drew won before, he didn't win in front of a crowd or anything. I reckon something's going to happen for it to be some, like, or is it no DQ? I don't know.
No, it's just a regular match for this one.
Okay, I'm thinking Seth retains. Drew gets his special moment. Something happens where Seth retains. Drew does something to fuck it up.
Drew actually
wins
in Scotland?
In Scotland. Because he gets the crowd he wants. He gets the home crowd. Even though he's a heel, I reckon he does it.
On that
and
night,
I want a heel Drew.
Well, we even said that. Like, we wanted...
Because he is doing fucking phenomenal.
Lashley was the heel back at WrestleMania 38.
Yeah.
And he was still, like, it was a mixed reaction. They were both getting cheered, him and Drew. Mm-hmm. And I was like, no, I didn't want Drew to win that unless he turned heel to do it. So I'm like, at the same time, that's a good loophole. He wins, he gets cheered, he's in Scotland, and then he hops on a flight, comes back to the States, and it's like, boo!
Yeah.
And he can literally use that in his promo, like, how dare you? I'm going to take this back to Scotland where I get...
Stupid
like, I know it's stupid, like, foreigner versus USA thing. It's like, we're in Australia, why should we care? But in that particular circumstance, it makes sense. Because in his hometown, he's
the fucking shit.
He's the man, right? And then he comes back to the US and he's like, and he can be like, fuck this, I'm getting on a plane, I'm going back home. Like, where I get the respect I deserve, you know? Like, it... Mm-hmm. Fuck! I still think...
this is what you've been doing to me the whole fucking time.
I'm still going to go Drew just because Seth does have the back injury and we don't know how severe it is and if he's going to take time off.
I do see
and maybe Becky's going to take time off. Maybe they're going to try for baby number 2 because Becky keeps saying she wants to pump him out while she can, so maybe she's going to pass the torch to Rhea and take a year off. And I don't know. This is all just speculation, rumor, and innuendo, as Conrad Thompson would say, but we're disagreeing on that one?
Yep.
Io Sky versus Bayley. Okay, cool.
Done.
We're done. Triple threat, Logan Paul defending the United States Championship against Randy Orton and Kevin Owens.
Logan retains.
Who do you think he pins?
I reckon he pins Kevin Owens.
Okay, well, I think Logan retains. I think Randy Orton, on the grandest stage of them all, he's going to put his shoulders to the mat for Logan Paul.
Really?
I think if you look at the way... Remember when they started the Elimination Chamber, I looked at the lineup and I said to you, we're going to get Randy Orton versus Logan Paul, or if they keep this KO thing going, it's going to be triple threat. And I even said this on the pod. And everyone's like, where the fuck are you getting this Randy Orton thing from? And I said, watch Randy Orton eliminate Logan Paul from the chamber. Watch Logan Paul. And everyone was like, where did you... Because there was no hints of that. But for some reason, I just had this gut feeling. My wrestling brain was a ticking.
It's because your brain, yeah.
And I was like looking at it. And I've looked at the interviews that Logan Paul's done with Randy Orton and Seth Rollins and John Cena. I think Logan Paul is an absolute fucking moron. However, the dedication he has for this, whether you're a fan, whether you're not, you cannot sit there and say that Logan Paul does not have a passion for this, that he doesn't want to learn, that he's not this, that he's not that. He is a fucking phenomenal professional wrestler.
I fucking
and I am so glad that they turned him heel. Yeah. I am so glad.
Yeah. Well, I fucking hate him, right? As a person. Like
that's a strong word, but you can't say it. Like, you can't. He is like
it was the shit he'd done, like in Japan and stuff, and like in the forest and that fucked up shit. I'm not even gonna go there.
Yeah,
it's too dark to even mention. That really fucking irked me, and I'm like, you know, call me a snowflake, whatever.
Yeah.
Fuck fucking hated it.
And people are saying that. They're like, oh, it's been X amount of years now. But it's like, no, but, you know, he was old enough to still know better.
Even though he's a heel, he has fucking flipped me when it comes to his wrestling career, though.
I shared a thing, right? Because he wrestled, he faced
him
the Miz.
As a wrestler.
For the Chamber qualifier, he wrestled Miz on SmackDown. It was his first match on SmackDown. Every other match had been PLE, and rightfully so. The billions of people that he gets to tune in when he's on those cards is insane. And I was like, and it's funny because my mate Bo was like, no, you're wrong. And I was like, be in denial, that's fine. I said, it's a crazy world in 2024 when you're excited for Logan Paul to make his official SmackDown debut on free TV. And they had a better match than they did at SummerSlam a couple years ago. Like, it was fucking awesome. And that's the thing. When I see Logan Paul on a card, I get so excited. And even the Rumble, that dusty finish where the ref didn't see KO with the knucks, but then it was 1, 2. You're disqualified. He literally sees the knucks as he hits 3. Everyone lost their mind, and you can't do that. It's a title match. It's a disrespectful. And I'm like, you're just mad that in 2024 you got suckered in. Yeah. You thought KO was going to win to give the heel Logan Paul a gripe, right?
Because being a fucking smark.
Because as a heel, Logan Paul could have gone, oh, well, this happened, so he gets his rematch.
That and
hook, line, sinker.
I like to call myself a fucking smark because you've made me that
total
fucking
smart
way.
Ass.
You have created
smart
a fucking...
ass with a great ass.
Shut up. You created a fucking monster, but I watched that as a fucking fan for the first time in like fucking what?
Because it was again, and it's all literally a split.
5 years.
It's all literally a split-second decision, but there is 1, 2. Whether he hits the 3, whether he sees the mucks, there is an infinite amount of possibilities on how they can flip it from that one little thing. And for a second, it was like, oh, and the referee did such a brilliant job of.
It's beautiful.
He was looking at the shoulders. He was looking at the shoulders, and oh look, they're under the bright lights. The knucks must have like twinkled under the lights in it.
It was beautiful. It was fucking
just
beautiful.
You couldn't have written, and obviously they did write it and they scripted, but you couldn't have written it any better than they did.
The way they fucking
I can't remember off the top.
it.
They did release who produced the match, and I can't remember, but I don't know if it was Michael Hayes or someone. I think Michael Hayes did the title match. It might have been Jamie Noble or someone. I think it was Jamie Noble actually. Oh no, it was Shane Helms. Shane Helms has been doing 99. Shane Helms has been doing 99.9% of Logan Paul's matches. That's right. Shane Helms has been doing most of Logan Paul's match producing. Right. But again, even that was beautiful. But I've literally gone off topic. But I think Logan Paul, as I said, I just got that feeling when they showed the poster. I'm like, this is leading to Logan. I've been saying this is leading to Logan versus Orton in something. Yeah. And I said, I literally said, I didn't know that it was going to go to the extent of the brass knucks and I thought maybe he'd just attack Orton either after the match or the following week. But I said, Orton's eliminating Paul, and Paul is pinning Logan. Paul is pinning Randy at WrestleMania to get the win back.
Yeah. And see, for me, I was just kind of like, I'm just going to have it as the reason I picked Kevin Owens, because I fucking love Kevin Owens and I'd hate to see him pinned, to be honest. I hate seeing him pinned because he's fucking phenomenal.
But it would still be a great callback because KO lost that match by DQ. Logan still didn't pin KO.
This is what I'm getting at, as well as this finally finishes the back and forth between those two.
And again,
now you can fucking focus on him and Randy.
Yeah, Randy's like...
This is like Logan's, straight cut. That's what I'm going with.
Because there was never a pin. So again, how often does the heel win the feud? Logan pins KO. Randy goes, you didn't pin me, brother. See you in France.
Yeah.
And like, you know that France being an international market, Randy Orton, one of the greatest of all time, 100% first ballot Hall of Famer, with or without the accolades being kayfabe. He's done enough that he's a Hall of Famer in any company, no matter what. Like, even the real life, like Pro Wrestling Hall of Fames, you go, here's this massive draw, arguably, you know, from, they always say, JBL used to say, you build a sports entertainer, not a professional wrestler. Like, it's the same thing, but if you build a sports entertainer from the ground up, you come out with Randy Orton, right? He's this massive draw. The fans in France are going to lose their mind because WWE is coming. It's pay-per-view, like, wow. And even, but then funny because you mentioned fucking. That's where Gunther could do it. They're actually doing a show in Berlin as well.
Okay.
It's called Bash at Berlin coming up in a few months' time. So
interesting.
maybe Gunther can. But anyway, you're in France for Backlash.
Okay.
Randy Orton, one of the biggest draws of all time. And then Logan Paul, massive YouTuber, massive this, massive that. All of these kids in France that go, oh my God, it's the guy that fucking made Prime.
Oh my God, Prime!
France, Backlash, Randy Orton, Logan Paul, one-on-one. I could 100% see that. I can see that.
Yeah.
I'm still saying Logan pins Randy just because I think at WrestleMania, you know, it's a big thing. It's a, here, kid, you're doing a good job. I respect your shit because Randy, again, he's the professional. He doesn't give a fuck. He's getting paid millions and millions of dollars. He's going to get pinned by Logan Paul and then go home and do his Twitch streams. Like, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
And like you said, he literally got interviewed by Logan Paul. He's been playing his game for 3 hours. His wife wants some attention. Yeah, whatever. Have the tablet. His wife gets on Amazon, starts buying shit with Randy's credit card. Distracts her. He goes back to his video games. Like, that's legit, like, an actual thing that he said on Paul's podcast. But I'm like, Randy's just cruising at this point. And with his back, he's like, yeah, he's still arguably the best he's ever been, even with the back injury. But you know that he's not doing anything overly stupid. So he's like, hey, KO, Logan, y'all do all the crazy spots. I'll hit an RKO. Maybe an RKO on Kev because they've been working as a tag team. But once that bell rings, it's everyone for himself. RKO on Kev. Right hand. Orton's knocked out. 1, 2, 3. Pins Orton. Orton was distracted by Kev. Caused a little dissension. They have to fight each other on SmackDown to get the chance to face Logan in France. Orton pins Kev. Da-da-da-da.
Nice.
But no, I think Logan retains. We both think Logan retains?
Yep, I do.
We're waffling on.
I think it's more Kevin than he pins Kevin.
This one's got me really fucking torn. LA Knight versus Styles. I think LA Knight's the obvious choice because
that's
he's
who
really
I
in
would
the
go
point.
with. Yeah.
But if you really want to get this, again, if you want to build this, if you don't want this to be a one and done, give Styles the win. He's teasing having another song. He's made references to it potentially being the Evil Ways theme song he had in Impact when he was in like the biker. I'm going to lose my mind if that plays through the speakers at WrestleMania because it is actually, the version he used was a remix, so it's already royalty free. So if that plays at WrestleMania, I'm going to have a moment. But AJ is my top one. He's in my top 5 like all time. Again, I've said before, Kevin Owens is close to plucking him out of that as much as I love AJ. Yeah. Because Kevin Owens has knocked Chris Jericho out of the number 6 spot. But I think it's got to be L.A. Knight. Yeah. I think Knight has to win.
I agree.
This is like, it's
That's
one of those
going
things
up
where
with straight as.
he's got the Slim Jim sponsorship. He's got this. He's got that. He was in the Fatal 4-Way at the Rumble. People were lost that he didn't. People were mad that he lost that. Like they wanted him to beat Roman for the title, and it's like, well, in a 4-Way when you're building the Cody story, it would have been a little bit silly. But I think this, gives him a big moment and potentially again puts him in either, whether it's US, IC, could put him in the world title contention, but a big win on a big stage. And then we got Bobby Lashley in the streets.
I think. Okay. Yep. Go Bobby Lashley in the Street Profits. Go.
Okay, we've got Bobby Lashley in the Street Profits versus Karrion Kross and the Authors of Pain in a Philadelphia street fight. So 6-man, 3-on-3, tornado tag, no DQ, no count out, must end in the ring, pinfall submission. I think it's kind of obvious that the babyfaces win that, right?
Who will I pick? Yes. That's literally what I was getting at. I was getting excited already. I'm like, yes. Street Profits.
Okay.
Bobby Lashley.
Because the Street Profits are up, and we want the smoke. But no, so...
Sorry, I shouted really loud there.
So let's just go back and we'll rapid fire this. Night 1, Rock and Roman versus Cody and Seth. I think Rock and Roman. You think Cody versus Seth. We have Rhea versus Becky. We both said Rhea. Gunther versus Sammy. We both said Gunther. Gunther?
Gunther?
Jay versus Jimmy. I said Jimmy. Did you end up going with Jimmy or did you stay with Jay?
I went with Jimmy.
Oh, that's right. I swayed you. Okay.
I was going
6-pack ladder match. You think they split the titles up with Judgment Day going to SmackDown, DIY?
Agree with you.
Okay. The Damage Control loses to Naomi, Jade, Bianca.
Yep. Agree.
Dominic pins Ray in the tag.
Yep. Agree.
Ray retires. You're going out on a limb and saying that. Yep.
Agree.
Match. Okay. Night 2. Cody defeats Roman.
Yep.
Priest cashes in.
Yep.
Seth versus Drew. You think Seth?
I
thought Drew.
Now you're kind of like,
We-
now I don't know.
We both said Bailey.
Yep, Bailey was a straight up
We
answer.
both said Logan Paul, but we have differing opinions on who he
Yep,
pins.
I
But
reckon
regardless, we're the same.
Same.
So if we're like 100% correct on those things, that could literally be, that's like the ultimate tiebreaker for us is who does Logan Paul pin? Is it Randy? Is it KO? It's literally what the tiebreaker is going to, well, no, because we've got two different matches, but you know what I mean? Like if we're,
Yeah.
so say we go like, you know, it's not going to be the number, but say we went like 5-1 each or something, like something
Yeah.
weird, and it'd be like, that's the tiebreaker.
Yes.
But okay, LA Knight beat Styles, Bobby and the Street Profits. Big thing. So do we quickly recap the matches for this Disney Mark-A-Palooza or what?
I was gonna make a joke.
What's your joke?
Because we were watching baseball earlier. We've got the same amount of home runs, but then we have
Yes,
to look at the runs.
yeah, you gotta.
See,
They
who-
were both
who
had the
finished
same
first?
amount of home bases, but this one actually had 3 home runs, and that one had 4 plus a da-da-da-da. So it's like, oh, you son of a bitch. And there was a foul ball here, and there was a strike here, and it was like fucking coming down to the wire. It's like the NFL or well, I was gonna say XFL, but it's now the UFL, which still isn't available in Australia. So fuck my life. But it's like, oh, these guys are on the same like points and the same touchdowns. It's okay, who's made the most tackles or who's missed the most tackles because they're the ones that are out now because their defense is sloppy. Like it's comes down to the wire.
Yeah,
But
it's fucking nuts.
all the way back to our Mark-A-Palooza before we quickly wrap it up and hit the outro. We're just under 2 hours, so it's going to go just over 2 hours, which is still good. Still good.
Yeah.
Match number 1 on the Mark-A-Palooza card. Bam Bam Bigelow defeated Beast. Bam Bam was Mrs Crossfire's pick. Luna Vachon defeated Mother Gothel. Luna was Mrs Crossfire's pick. Sin Bodhi defeats Chuckle. Sin was my pick. Pooh and Piglet defeated the Rockers. Pooh and Piglet was my pick. Batista defeated Scar. That was my mystery match. We both agreed Batista, so that's null and void.
Yep.
Ariel defeats Mercedes Moné. Ariel was your pick. Rikishi defeats Baymax. Rikishi was my pick. Meiko Satomura defeats Mulan in an I Quit match. And I should also mention that Sin versus Chuckles was a Cirque de la Mort, Circus of Death, or Circus of Doom death match with a mixture of extreme violence but extreme comedy on both ends. But again, that was your mystery match, and we both mutually agreed Meiko should win. Lightning McQueen landslides on Hulk Hogan. That was your pick. And then it came to 11-11, but because it was the main event, we said we can't have it just be the draw.
Yeah.
We flipped a coin. My pick was Minnie and Mickey, so they win. So we're 4-4. So technically, even though there wasn't an actual draw for that because it was the main event, we drew for this, and we're now technically, I guess, at 2-2 for this format of Mark-A-Palooza. Because if my memory serves me correct, this is actually only the 3rd type that we've done like this. Because I did one with Ref Steve, and then we've done the other ones where it was like the full cards and the WWE and the this and the that, and then with the Rumble, because like I remember AJ Styles won the Rumble we did with Atticus Slane. AJ was my pick, and I swayed that, so I technically won that, but we weren't really keeping score because there was a lot of moving parts with that. So we're 2-2 with these formats so far, and yeah, so we've just done our predictions. We both have the same matches for night 1. The only one different on night 1 was the tag. I thought Rock. You thought Cody and Rock and Roman. You thought Cody and Seth. All the other ones were the same. You've just heard us say it, so I don't need to repeat it.
Mm-hmm.
And then night 2, again, we've gone all the same with the exception of Seth and Drew. I thought Drew, you said Seth. And then we both see Logan Paul retaining, but you said he pins KO. I said he pins Orton. But with that being said, recap the song of the week as picked by Miss Nova Lee. Did you want to do it, or I can do it? Or whatever we're doing to do this. Leave this all in.
A Whole New World by Peyton Parrish. Cover by Peyton Parrish, and I can't think of
Kayla King.
Kayla King. I knew it was something King.
Two absolute powerhouses,
Hey.
but they really showed their range and went a little bit softer and almost melodic and almost like a lullaby on this kind of thing. So yeah, Whole New World. The match of the week, as I said, I'm still mad that I've doubled up on Rock Austin at 19 and in 2 different episodes now, because I said 6 episodes ago, Muzdog, and then 20 episodes before that with Ref Steve. I misread it. I thought that was WrestleMania 17. But anyway, match of the week this week, because I didn't want to double up on Hardy versus Hardy, we've got brother versus brother. It's Hart versus Hart, Brett versus Owen at WrestleMania 10. Seems appropriate when it's, it's a fantasy match, it's a dream match. It did happen a couple of times, but it was like the real big time Like, they had the cage match, but I feel like this match was better than the cage personally. But yeah, with that being said, we have MXW Game Over coming up on April 27th. The link for that will be in the description. ECW show number 2, Electric Boogaloo. We'll see the return of Miss Nova Lee as a ring announcer. Again, May 11th. The link for that will be in the description. They haven't announced it publicly properly yet because there was up in the air. We didn't announce it at the last show, but they have announced the date prior, so I can confirm now that ICW Australia have let the talent know that the show on May 18th will be going ahead. I just need to get around to releasing the poster. Hopefully they'll have a link out soon. It won't be in this episode just because I'm going to put this straight up. Yada, yada, yada. But keep an eye out for that on social media. And then speaking of ICW, obviously ICW Central West, not until October, but the tickets are selling really quick. Emma Butler Memorial Show, October 26th, Cowra Uniting Church. The link for that will be in below. This is obviously, it's very near and dear to my heart. I'm hoping they'll actually have, for the first time ever, I'll actually have t-shirts available at a show as we record this. I haven't even done the post publicly, but I'll do it within the next few days, hopefully by the time this episode's up. But I have 3 new designs to celebrate the fact that we are hitting episode 100 next week. And keep in mind, remember, we are now on Apple Podcasts. All the links for previous episodes are there. This will be the first one, like a first new episode where I'm going to have to go in and I've remade the interview style one. I'm going to have to go in and update the Mark-A-Palooza style graphics for this one before I drop it in 2 days' time as we record it. But Apple Podcasts, we are now on 4 different platforms. But yeah, as I was saying, just keep a lookout. We do have 3 new shirts to celebrate the 100 episodes coming up next week. Hopefully it is still DPC. If not, it'll just be the Dark Side of the Ring review. But all going well, should still be DPC, fingers crossed. And then 101 will be Derek, because that's in the can. I've just got to do the intro and outro in the next couple of weeks. But 3 new shirts. I've released a white t-shirt with the logo that I made for Miss Nova Lee.
Hey!
It's on my Pro Wrestling Tee store, which is also in the links, as well as the Amazon wish list and yada, yada, yada. It's all there. I'd say that every week. Go check it out. We've released, as per one of the most recent episodes, the hashtag What Are Words. It is now on a t-shirt. I'm not even just saying this just because it's a new shirt. It's one of my favorite shirts that I have designed. By far my favorite one for the pod. Like, obviously we've got the OG logo, which is now my singles logo, I guess, brother, when I do the reactions with DBC. And I put it on the posters now with Nova Lee's graphic. Obviously, if you see the thumbnails, that's the logo I'm talking about for Nova Lee. That's the one that's on the shirt. But we've got a What Are Words one. That's my favorite, one of my favorite shirts on my store, all up. And then a very special one, speaking of the Emma Butler Memorial Show, is I've put together a radiation kick design. It's very near and dear to my heart. It was an idea I've been toying with for a while, with like the foot and kind of like the nuclear thing, but I wasn't sure how to do it, but I've done it, and I've actually put the eye, well, the second eye in radiation, because there's 2 eyes, and then there's another eye in kick, so there's 3 eyes, but for, like, you know, what's the word, aesthetic reasons, it's the last eye in radiation. It actually has, it's the purple, white, and red ribbon, which that just encompasses all oral, like, head and neck cancer, so obviously the tongue cancer, which does have its own separate ribbon, but it is titled to that. And obviously my dad having that cancer and having family and friends that have had various different types of, you know, cancer, and just knowing people in general, that's up there. So I'm going to have that, hopefully, fingers crossed, if all goes well. I've been talking to Res Pro Clothing. Go check them out on Instagram. I'm not going to link it because it's just too much stuff to link, but been talking to them about getting a batch. But yeah, it is on it's on the Pro Wrestling Tee site. I'm waffling on now. My apologies. I'm tripping all over my words now because it's getting to that point where I'm trying to wrap it up before we get to 2.5 hours. But I quite enjoyed that. It was absolutely fucking ridiculous. And it's 10 to 7 as we record this, so we'll quickly go put our potato bake together, chuck the snags on, and we should be ready just in time to watch the Broncos game at 8 o'clock.
Up the Broncos!
I'm going to be cheering the Broncos very hard, but I have tipped a storm. Mrs Crossfire is mad at me, so she's probably going to put arsenic in my food.
Yeah, I got
American
ideas.
Horror Story last night.
I got ideas on American Horror Story.
What season did we just finish watching? Was that 7 or 8?
It was Cult. Was
it season 7?
It was 7.
So we're about to start season 8, which is Apocalypse.
Apocalypse!
But yeah, no. Anything else we need to plug? I feel like
No.
I've got myself, as I said, I got myself all flustered when I realised that I used the same match twice out of 99 episodes in Mrs Crossfire.
It's fine. It happens.
That's why there's a list. There's thousands, millions of wrestling matches, and somehow I've repeated the same one. But it's a classic. And I mean,
It's a fucking classic.
The Rock's the talk of the town at the
it.
moment anyway. And there's rumours that Stone Cold's going to come back. And if imagine the glass breaks and Stone Cold helped Cody. Holy shit. This house would collapse. Well, actually, the house wouldn't collapse. The Atticus's Slane would collapse, or GAO Stadium, depending on where we're at by the time the main event comes on, would just implode all around us.
McDonald's, yes.
I was thinking Belcon and Emu Bank after the game. I'm like, somehow avoid spoilers. Go on and watch it after the fact. But no. But yeah, all the links are there. MXW, ECW, ICW, as I said.
All the W's.
As I said, 15 Minutes of Fame does not have a link just yet because it's only just been confirmed, but I'm going to announce it here because screw it. It was previously announced on our list of dates that were posted publicly. We had some internal issues, but they've been sorted now. But yeah, Mrs. Crossfire, you have something to say to end this episode.
This was literally just one more thing. Okay. Future episode. ADHD modes here. Anime characters versus wrestlers. We should do it.
So specifically just wrestlers versus anime.
Yes.
See, I was originally going to do the first wrestlers versus fictional characters with G-Mac, formerly Mac Attack cosplay. He's rebranded to just his G-Mac 316. Return of the Mac.
Oh,
he is going to be on the pod in the next handful of episodes because he's got 2 weeks off coming up. He actually has a day off tomorrow, so depending on our chores, we may even squeeze it in. I'll write the notes while we're watching the football. But he was originally going to be, and I'm just going to say it now because I'm not going to do it now, but my mystery match for that was going to be, depending on if he was that they were used.
Dragon Ball.
I was because he's a massive Yu-Gi-Oh buff, right? He's fresh off the back of Yu-Gi-Oh championships in Sydney. He's done it in. He went to Japan for Yu-Gi-Oh, which we talked about in episode 21. My first ever guest.
Fucking cool as.
My thing was going to be a street fight, a la Hogan McMahon or Ric Flair versus McMahon, but it was going to be Vince McMahon versus Maximilian Pegasus in a Toon World street fight.
That would be sick.
But I'm obviously, like, we still mention him, but if I can avoid putting him on cards, obviously for reasons, Vince is not going to be on any of these cards. But no, that was one that I was going to do because you bring up anime, so that was the first. Originally, G-Mac was going to be on it, but he had to pull out just a personal issue. So we would probably do fictional characters versus wrestlers too, or even some form of Mark-A-Palooza with him at a later date, but he will be on in the next few weeks. I just wanted to get that up. But definitely. I do have one in the pipeline, or not in the pipeline. I have one in the works, just going to make the matches. In the next week or so, I'm going to write up the rules. It's going to be the same format of this. Myself and Mighty Kai, we're going to be doing wrestlers versus Star Wars characters.
I wouldn't be a part of that.
I'm going to drop that. My aim is to drop that on May 5th. Obviously, May 4th is Star Wars Day, but Big James is getting married, so I won't be able to promote because I'll be standing there next to him as one of his groomsmen. And we already did announce this on the previous stream we just did yesterday. Again, cheap plug, check out my YouTube channel because I export them from Twitch straight away, so they're there forever. It's an episodic thing. I can't remember if it was the My Rise one or the Universe one, but we talked about it, and we're going to be doing 8 matches. So one is already in stone, and as per the conversation with Mighty Kai, he compared R-Truth to Jar Jar Binks. So R-Truth versus Jar Jar Binks is automatically on the card. So it's going to be a 9-match card. We're going to make 8 matches. One of them will be a pre-show match. And then we'll have 8 matches on the main card. We don't know. Again, we're not going to do with the dinosaurs. Obviously, Brock Lesnar, who seemingly had his name cleared. He's been added back to the WWE website. So fingers crossed. The T-Rex versus Brock, we locked it in as the main event. And then we knocked in the opener for that show with Ray versus the Pterodactyl. This match hasn't been locked in stone in sort of where's it going to be, but it's going to be on the card. So we're making 8 matches. There'll be 9 all up, 1 pre-show, 8 main card. But I'm rambling, but I'm just trying to give guys a preview to come back and listen for more. But episode 101, it's in the pipeline. Curtain Jerker Designs. It's a 2.5-hour episode itself. We just ranted at, I started at 11 p.m. Australian time, 7 a.m. his time, and we ranted for 2.5 hours non-stop. As we'll say in the intro for that, about 20 seconds of it got cut just due to technical issues. I don't know what happened, but luckily it was nothing important. But we're just short of 2 hours and 10 minutes. So by the time I throw the actual, 30 second to a minute actual intro clip on there between 2 hours and 10 minutes. But you need anything to plug?
No,
Nope.
I literally think that's it.
This episode's been a clusterfuck. It's been a busy day. We went out for lunch. But, yeah, I love these episodes, though, because, like,
Yeah.
it's fun. We kill
It's
2
bonding,
hours.
too. Like, it's great.
Lightning
It stops us
McQueen!
wanting us to kill each other, or makes us want to kill each other. I don't know.
We struck a deal with Tony Schiavone for the record, and as he come down from the rafters, he went, "It's McQueen!" I am the essential John L. Crossfire.
I am Nova Lee.
You guys were just caught.
In conversation.
Shaka-laka-laka.
Bitch, that's mine. Get your own.
Shaka-laka-laka.
Bitch.